As dawn breaks, the first golden rays sweep across North America's immense wilderness, unveiling a living tapestry that stretches from the frostbitten north to the sun-drenched south. The land breathes in the cool, pine-scented air, and the world awakens in a crescendo of colour and sound. Here, the wild heart of a continent pulses beneath ancient forests and towering mountains, each sunrise revealing a new chapter in a story written by wind, water, and the creatures that call this place home. The wilderness is not merely a backdrop, it is a force, shaping every life within its reach, and every day is a testament to the enduring power of nature's design. In the farthest reaches of the Arctic, the tundra lies silent and formidable, its surface a mosaic of snow and ice. Musk oxen, their coats thick as armour, cluster together, bracing against the relentless wind. Arctic foxes, nimble and resourceful, weave intricate paths across the snow, their white fur blending seamlessly with the landscape. Each step is a calculated risk, every movement a dance with survival. Far to the south, the land transforms into a realm of extremes, deserts painted in fiery hues at sunrise, where coyotes slip through sagebrush and jackrabbits leap across shifting sands. Here, life is a constant negotiation with scarcity, and every creature is a master of adaptation. The continent's backbone rises in a series of majestic mountain ranges, their summits shrouded in mist and mystery. Alpine lakes, glassy and pristine, mirror the jagged peaks above, disturbed only by the fleeting shadow of an eagle or the gentle ripple of a passing otter. In the lowlands, swamps thick with cypress trees conceal a hidden world. Herons stalk the shallows, alligators glide beneath the surface, and frogs chorus as dusk settles. The prairies, vast and windswept, undulate with wild grasses, providing sanctuary for bison, pronghorn, and a kaleidoscope of birds. Along the coast, waves crash against ancient cliffs, sculpting the land with relentless energy, while seabirds wheel overhead and otters tumble through kelp forests below. Deep within the emerald shadows of old-growth forests, a red squirrel begins its daily journey. Agile and ever watchful, it darts from branch to branch, its bushy tail a perfect counterweight as it leaps through the canopy. With sharp eyes and deft paws, it collects acorns and seeds, tucking them away in secret caches to sustain itself through the long, unforgiving winter. Every leap is a calculated risk, every decision a matter of survival, as it navigates a world where only the clever and quick endure. On the windswept tundra, a caribou mother leads her calf across a landscape sculpted by ice and wind. Each step is a lesson in resilience as they navigate snowdrifts and frozen rivers, ever alert to the presence of wolves or bears. In the wetlands, beavers labour with tireless determination, felling trees and weaving branches to construct dams and lodges. Their engineering transforms the landscape, creating ponds that shelter fish, amphibians, and countless other species. Through their efforts, barren ground is reborn as a thriving oasis, a testament to the transformative power of cooperation and ingenuity. In the shadowed depths of the forest, a wolf pack moves with silent purpose. Each member plays a vital role, from the lead wolf setting the pace to the youngest learning the ways of the hunt. Their communication is a language of glances, body posture, and the occasional low growl, an unspoken bond that unites them in perfect synchrony. As they pursue their quarry through snow-laden woods, their unity and instinct are put to the test, every hunt a delicate balance of strategy and strength. Their haunting howls echo through the cold air, a reminder of the wild spirit that endures in these ancient lands. Among the rugged outcrops and shadowy canyons, a mountain lion prowls alone. Its movements are silent, each step measured and deliberate as it navigates the rocky terrain. With eyes that pierce the gathering dusk, it stalks its prey with patience honed by years of solitary survival. Every muscle is poised for action, every sense attuned to the faintest sound. In this unforgiving landscape, the mountain lion reigns as a master of stealth and power, thriving where few others dare to roam. Across these diverse habitats, animals display extraordinary resilience. A fox, its coat thick and white, blends seamlessly into the snowy landscape, hunting with quiet determination. Bison gather in herds, their massive forms braced against the fury of a winter storm, enduring conditions that would defeat lesser creatures. An owl, silent and watchful, perches beneath the pale glow of the moon, its keen eyes scanning for the slightest movement below. Each of these animals is a testament to the power of adaptation, their lives shaped by the challenges and opportunities of their environment. From the smallest amphibian hidden beneath a carpet of autumn leaves to the largest whale breaching the ocean's surface, the diversity of life here is astonishing. Salamanders emerge after a gentle rain, their delicate bodies glistening in the soft light. Eagles soar high above the cliffs, their sharp visions scanning for prey far below. In the coastal waters, sea otters float among the kelp, using rocks to crack open shellfish with remarkable dexterity. Each species, no matter how small or mighty, plays a crucial role in the intricate web of life that sustains these wild places. The rhythms of migration and the bonds of family are woven into the fabric of the continent. Monarch butterflies embark on epic journeys, travelling thousands of miles to reach their winter sanctuaries. Elk herds ford icy rivers, their calls echoing across the valleys as they move toward greener pastures. Sandhill cranes gather in great flocks at sunset, their graceful forms silhouetted against the sky. These migrations are feats of endurance and navigation, guided by instincts passed down through generations, and they ensure the survival of countless species across the changing seasons. Now, step with us into the wild heart of America. In these breathtaking landscapes, where rivers carve through ancient stone, thunderclouds gather over endless canyons, and golden light bathes untouched valleys, animal heroes shape the destiny of a continent. Their stories are written in the tracks they leave behind, the calls that echo through the forests, and the enduring beauty of a world that remains untamed. Here, the spirit of the wild endures, reminding us of the power, resilience, and wonder that define the natural world. Deep within the snow-draped forests of Wyoming's Teton Mountains, where ancient pines stand sentinel and the hush of winter settles over the land, a red squirrel embarks on its daily quest for survival. This diminutive mammal, with its russet fur and bushy tail, is a marvel of adaptation. Its every action honed by generations of learning and instinct. As dawn's first rays pierce the dense canopy, the squirrel springs into action. Its sharp eyes scan the forest floor, searching for the subtle glint of ripe pine cones among the needles and snow. With astonishing precision, it selects only those cones that promise the richest seeds, using its dexterous paws to peel away the tough scales. Each seed is a vital prize, packed with energy to sustain it through the long, frigid months ahead. Yet the forest is a battleground of wits and senses. Towering black bears and formidable grizzlies roam these woods, their noses attuned to the faintest aroma of hidden food. A single bear, lumbering through the undergrowth, can unearth a squirrel's carefully concealed cache in moments, scattering months of effort with a swipe of its massive paw. The squirrel must remain ever vigilant, its survival dependent on outsmarting these powerful rivals. To safeguard its future, the red squirrel employs a sophisticated defense: deception. It creates a network of decoy caches, each one a carefully orchestrated ruse. With swift, practiced movements, it buries pine cones in shallow pits, camouflaging them beneath layers of leaves and soil. These false stashes are scattered far and wide, each one a calculated misdirection to confound would-be thieves and mask the location of its true reserves. The squirrel's most prized stores, however, are hidden far above the reach of ground-bound predators. With remarkable agility, it ascends the tallest pines, weaving through a maze of branches to wedge pine cones deep within the dense needles. Here, in the lofty canopy, the squirrel's treasures are shielded from prying noses and clumsy paws, accessible only to the nimblest climbers. The forest itself is a realm of giants, where the red squirrel's world is both vast and perilous. Towering trunks rise like pillars, their bark etched with the marks of countless seasons. The squirrel navigates this labyrinth with ease, memorizing the location of each cache, each hidden path, and every potential escape route. Its memory is astonishing, allowing it to retrieve food months after it was hidden, even beneath a thick blanket of snow. As winter's grip tightens and the forest is transformed into a silent white expanse, the red squirrel retreats to its sanctuary. Its nest, expertly crafted in a hollow or high branch, is lined with soft moss, shredded bark, and tufts of fur. Here, shielded from icy winds and swirling snow, the squirrel curls into a ball, drawing warmth from its own body and the careful insulation of its home. Each mouthful of stored seed is a triumph of foresight, a testament to months of relentless effort. In the stillness of the frozen woods, the red squirrel endures, its cleverness and resilience ensuring that when spring finally returns, it will once again greet the dawn among the whispering pines. In the tangled heart of Louisiana's Atchafalaya swamp, dawn emerges with a hush. Wisps of mist curl between ancient cypress knees, their roots anchoring deep into the saturated earth beneath a flawless mirror of water. The air is dense, heavy with the aroma of wet soil and the constant, low chorus of hidden life. Here, every ripple is a message, every shadow a secret, and the world moves at the deliberate pace of nature's oldest rhythms. Beneath the glassy surface, the American alligator is both sovereign and spectre. Its presence is sensed before it is seen, a silent, ancient force woven into the swamp's tapestry. With only eyes and nostrils exposed, it surveys its watery kingdom, every movement deliberate, every breath a study in control. The alligator's greatest weapon is not its bite, but its mastery of patience. Over millennia it has refined the art of stillness, vanishing into the tangle of reeds and floating leaves. It becomes a living shadow, indistinguishable from the swamp itself, a silent observer in a world of constant motion. For hours, sometimes days, the alligator remains unmoving, a sculpture of patience among the lilies. Even as a dragonfly settles on its snout, the reptile does not stir. Its senses are tuned to every vibration, every subtle shift in the water, waiting for the perfect moment. The swamp's edge is a theatre of tension. A white-tailed deer steps lightly to the water, ears flicking at the faintest sound. In a sudden burst, the alligator surges from the depths, jaws snapping shut on empty air as the deer vanishes into the thicket. A raccoon, oblivious to the silent threat, lingers at the water's edge, the air thick with anticipation. A missed strike is not defeat, but a lesson in restraint. The alligator slips beneath the lilies, ripples fading until the water is undisturbed once more. Its patience is unwavering, its focus sharpened by every encounter. The alligator resumes its silent vigil, conserving energy with every heartbeat. It can wait for days, even weeks, unmoving, as golden sunlight dances on the water and frogs sing in the humid air. Each moment is a test of endurance, a contest of instinct and will. The alligator's gaze is fixed, unblinking, on a flock of egrets wading nearby. It remains unreadable, a master of concealment and discipline. Its patience is as tangible as its strength, enduring hunger, heat and hardship with silent resolve. When the alligator moves, it does so with purpose, gliding through the swamp, parting lilies and slipping past cypress knees. A turtle basks on a sunlit log, unaware of the silent hunter passing beneath. The alligator's presence shapes the ecosystem, influencing every life in its watery domain. As dusk descends, the swamp transforms. Shadows stretch, and the alligator's silhouette merges with the deepening gloom. Its eyes, just above the water, catch the last glimmers of light, a silent sentinel in a world of shifting shadows. In this humid, enigmatic world, patience is the currency of survival. The alligator glides beneath the mist, its path revealed only by a faint wake. Among cypress and moss, it is both hunter and phantom, shaping the swamp's silent drama. Fish dart past the alligator's motionless form, oblivious to the lurking danger. The night vibrates with the chorus of frogs and insects, yet the alligator remains unmoved, a silent observer, poised for the perfect moment. As dawn returns, the alligator rests in the mud beneath ancient cypress trees. Sunlight glints off its armoured back, steam rising from the warming water. It is a creature sculpted by eons, its instincts as old as the swamp itself. Every detail reveals power held in reserve. The rough, impenetrable scales, claws gripping the muddy bank, muscles tensed beneath the surface. The alligator's patience is not weakness, but a testament to enduring strength, a quiet force that shapes the wild. In the southern swamps, stillness is strategy. As moonlight shimmers on the water and the alligator vanishes into the night, the swamp returns to silence. Here, patience is power, and the alligator's silent presence endures long after the ripples have faded. As the first rays of sunlight stretch across the boundless prairies of America's heartland, a world of subtle drama and relentless adaptation awakens. Each blade of grass glistens with dew, the moisture a fleeting gift in a land where water can be both a blessing and a threat. The wind, ever present, whispers through the tall grasses, shaping the landscape and the lives that depend on it. Here, the prairie is a living tapestry, woven from cycles of abundance and scarcity, calm and chaos, heat and cold. In this vast ecosystem, every creature is finely attuned to the rhythms of the land. Bison, the giants of the prairie, graze methodically, their massive forms parting the mist as they search for the most tender shoots. Their presence shapes the very earth, trampling old growth and making way for new life. Antelope, swift and vigilant, dart through the grasslands, their movements a blur of agility and caution. Wildflowers, brief but brilliant, burst forth in a riot of colour, attracting pollinators and signaling the changing seasons. Beneath the surface, an unseen metropolis thrives. Prairie dogs, master engineers of the grasslands, have constructed a labyrinthine network of tunnels and chambers. These burrows, stretching for hundreds of feet, provide shelter from predators and the elements. Sentries stand motionless at each entrance, their eyes scanning for the faintest hint of danger. Below, families move through dim corridors, tending to pups, storing food, and maintaining the delicate architecture of their underground world. Above ground, the prairie is a stage for constant vigilance. A red-tailed hawk soars in wide circles, its keen vision searching for the slightest movement. The shadow it casts sends a ripple of alarm through the colony below. In a heartbeat, prairie dogs vanish into their burrows, evading the razor-sharp talons that sweep just above the earth. This daily dance of predator and prey is a testament to the razor-thin margin between life and death on the plains. Communication is the lifeblood of the colony. Prairie dogs emit a complex array of barks and chirps, each with a distinct meaning. Warnings for hawks, coyotes, or snakes. The entire community responds instantly, a synchronized ballet of survival. These vocalizations are not just alarms, they are the threads that bind the colony, allowing for coordinated defense and mutual support. As midday approaches, the prairie's tranquility is shattered by the approach of a storm. The sky darkens, clouds rolling in with a silent menace. The wind intensifies, flattening the grasses and sending seeds tumbling across the ground. Sensing the shift, prairie dogs retreat below, their instincts honed by generations of survival in a land where weather can turn deadly in moments. In the safety of their subterranean refuge, prairie dog families gather close. Mothers cradle their pups, shielding them from the distant rumble of thunder. Adults groom one another, reinforcing social bonds and calming nerves. The burrow, dim and earthy, becomes a sanctuary, a place where cooperation is not just beneficial, but essential for survival. The storm unleashes its fury above, rain drumming against the prairie and sending rivulets of water snaking into burrow entrances. Instinctively, prairie dogs mobilize, packing fresh dirt against the tunnel walls, shoring up weak spots and diverting water away from their living chambers. Their efforts are urgent and unceasing, a race against the elements to preserve the fragile safety of their home. When the storm finally passes, the prairie is transformed. Sunlight pierces the retreating clouds, illuminating a landscape washed clean by rain. One by one, prairie dogs emerge, their noses twitching as they test the air for lingering danger. The world above is changed. Flattened grasses, new scents, and the promise of fresh growth. The aftermath is a scene of industrious recovery. Adults gather fresh grass for bedding, inspecting the integrity of their mounds and entrances. Pups, emboldened by curiosity, venture to the edge of the burrow, exploring the altered landscape under the watchful gaze of their elders. Every action is purposeful, every movement a step toward restoring normalcy. Rebuilding is a communal endeavor. Side by side, prairie dogs push and pack soil, reinforcing entrances and repairing damage. Some dig, others stand sentry, their vigilance undiminished. This coordinated effort is a testament to the strength of their social bonds and the necessity of teamwork in a world where survival is never guaranteed. With the immediate danger past, the colony renews its social fabric. Prairie dogs share food, exchanging soft vocalizations and gentle touches. Juveniles engage in playful wrestling, their antics both a form of learning and a celebration of safety. These moments of connection are vital, strengthening the ties that will see them through future trials. As evening falls, the prairie is bathed in the warm glow of sunset. Prairie dogs gather at their burrow entrances, standing alert, their silhouettes etched against the sky. The family group, united by the day's challenges, forms a living tableau of resilience and vigilance, a community bound by necessity and trust. Night descends, and the prairie is transformed once more. Under a canopy of stars, the land is hushed, the only sound a gentle breeze stirring the grass. In this wild and beautiful heartland, life on the edge is a perpetual test of adaptability, cooperation, and courage. Here, even the smallest creatures endure, thriving against the odds in a world shaped by nature's relentless hand. As dawn breaks along California's wild coastline, the first golden rays of sunlight cut through the lingering mist, casting a luminous veil over the restless Pacific. The ocean's surface glimmers, hinting at the vibrant, bustling world that thrives just beneath. Here, the Pacific is not merely water. It is a living, breathing expanse, teeming with life in every direction. Each ripple on the surface is a signal, each glint of light a prelude to the intricate drama about to unfold. Beneath this tranquil exterior, countless creatures prepare for the day's first act, each one poised to play its part in a grand, ever-evolving performance. Suddenly, the water erupts with kinetic energy. Thousands of common dolphins, their streamlined bodies, built for speed and agility, surge forward in perfect unison. Their skin glistens as they slice through the water, each movement a calculated step in a complex ballet. With astonishing coordination, they encircle immense clouds of anchovies, driving the tiny fish into dense, swirling bait balls. The anchovies, each no longer than a finger, flash silver as they twist and turn, their scales catching the fractured sunlight. In a desperate attempt to evade their pursuers, they form tight, shifting spheres, living sculptures that pulse and shimmer in the blue. The dolphins' clicks and whistles echo through the water, a sophisticated language guiding their hunt, while their powerful tails propel them with bursts of speed that leave trails of bubbles in their wake. The commotion below draws the attention of other predators. California sea lions, sleek and muscular, join the chase. Their bodies twist and spiral with remarkable dexterity, weaving between dolphins and darting after the swirling bait balls. Sea lions use their sensitive whiskers to detect the faintest vibrations, allowing them to track the frantic movements of their prey even in the chaos. Above, the sky becomes a stage for aerial hunters. Shearwaters, gulls and brown pelicans circle with keen eyes, their wings poised for the perfect dive. With sudden, precise plunges, they pierce the surface, folding their wings at the last instant to streamline their bodies. In a flurry of feathers and spray, they snatch anchovies from the water, sometimes swallowing them mid-flight before returning for another pass. The air is filled with the cries of seabirds, each one competing for a share of the ocean's bounty. From the shadowy depths, a colossal figure emerges. Humpback whales, drawn by the frenzy, ascend with immense power. Their massive bodies, mottled with barnacles and scars from past journeys, rise beneath the bait balls. With jaws agape, they lunge through the swirling mass, engulfing thousands of anchovies in a single, thunderous gulp. The water explodes around them, sending shock waves through the feeding assembly. Each breach and lunge is a display of raw strength and precision as the whales' pleated throats expand to accommodate their catch. The arrival of these giants is a dramatic punctuation in the unfolding spectacle, a reminder of the ocean's vastness and the intricate web of life that connects its inhabitants. Then the true titan of the sea appears. A blue whale, longer than a city bus and weighing as much as 30 elephants, glides silently through the swirling chaos. Its mottled blue-grey skin is etched with the stories of decades spent roaming the world's oceans. As it feeds, the blue whale filters vast volumes of water through its baleen plates, capturing clouds of krill and small fish. Its immense tail fin, or fluke, rises and falls with slow, deliberate power, propelling the whale through the open ocean. Once hunted to the brink of extinction, the blue whale's presence here is a testament to the resilience of nature and the possibility of recovery. Its solitary passage leaves only a fleeting glimpse of its colossal form, a gentle giant moving through a world in constant motion. From above, the ocean transforms into a living tapestry. Dolphins, whales, sea lions and seabirds converge in a swirling mosaic of life, each species weaving its own thread into the fabric of the ecosystem. The patterns shift and evolve with every passing moment. Schools of fish ripple in coordinated waves, predators dart and spiral, and seabirds wheel overhead. This ever-changing tableau is a testament to the complexity and dynamism of the marine world, where every movement is both a response and a catalyst, shaping the fate of countless lives. In this fluid arena, alliances form and dissolve in an instant. Dolphins and sea lions, once united in pursuit, yield to the overwhelming force of the whales. Their teamwork gives way to the raw, unstoppable power of the giants as the hierarchy of the ocean is momentarily redefined. Each species adapts its strategy, shifting roles as the balance of power changes with every surge and lunge. The arrival of these leviathans sends ripples of disruption through the gathering. Anchovies scatter in a silver flash, their tight formations breaking apart as whales surge upward. Seabirds wheel and dive, adjusting their tactics to the shifting chaos below. The feeding frenzy is momentarily thrown into disarray, but this upheaval is not destruction. It is part of the intricate choreography that sustains the ocean's abundance. Each disruption creates new opportunities as predators and prey alike adapt to the ever-changing conditions. Here, the boundaries between cooperation and rivalry blur. Dolphins, sea lions and seabirds interact in a complex web of competition and mutual benefit. Each species improvises strategies to survive and thrive. Dolphins use teamwork and communication, sea lions rely on agility and keen senses, and seabirds exploit the chaos from above. The destinies of predator and prey are intertwined in a perpetual dance of opportunity and risk, where every decision can mean the difference between feast and famine. The drama of America's coastal waters is a story of constant transformation. Waves of energy and life surge and recede, sculpting the destinies of countless creatures. The interplay of currents, tides, and weather patterns creates a dynamic environment where adaptability is key. Beneath the restless surface, the struggle for survival unfolds in a never-ending cycle of abundance and adversity, each moment shaped by the forces of nature and the ingenuity of its inhabitants. In this symphony, every participant matters, from the tiniest plankton, microscopic drifters that form the foundation of the food web, to the colossal whales that roam the deep. Each plays a vital role in maintaining the harmony of the sea. Plankton blooms fuel explosions of life, supporting vast schools of fish, which in turn sustain larger predators. The interconnectedness of life here is profound. Every note, every movement is essential to the whole, and the loss of even the smallest player can ripple through the entire ecosystem. The ocean pulses with energy and resilience, a living masterpiece sculpted by millions of years of evolution. Its abundance is both fragile and fierce, shaped by the relentless forces of adaptation and survival. Coral reefs bloom with colour, providing shelter for countless species, while open waters teem with life from the surface to the abyss. Here, the music of life never ceases, a symphony of ocean wonders echoing through the ages, inviting us to witness, understand, and protect this extraordinary world. In the remote reaches of the Arctic, where winter reigns for months on end and the sun's rays barely graze the horizon, endurance is not just a trait, it is the very essence of survival. As dawn's faint glow stretches across the tundra, a pack of Arctic wolves emerges from their snowbound den. Their breath crystallizes instantly, suspended in the razor-sharp air. The alpha female, vigilant and resolute, surveys the endless white, her senses attuned to every subtle shift in the wind. Each muscle is primed, every movement deliberate, as she signals her pack forward into the frozen wilderness. Here, hesitation is a luxury no creature can afford. Guided by ancestral memory and the hard-won lessons of countless winters, the wolves move with unwavering intent. Their noses skim the snow, searching for the faintest imprint, a musk oxen hoof, a wisp of scent carried on the wind. The herd ahead stands in a defensive phalanx, massive bodies pressed together, their breath rising in clouds as they brace against the cold and the ever-present threat of predators. For both hunter and hunted, endurance is a daily trial, measured in heartbeats and the will to persist. The wolves fan out, their movements synchronized by years of shared hardship. They circle the herd, eyes sharp, seeking the slightest sign of weakness. In a flash, the pack surges forward, snow erupting beneath their paws. The musk oxen respond with a wall of muscle and horn, but the wolves' strategy is relentless. They isolate a vulnerable calf, cutting it off from the herd's protection. The ensuing struggle is a brutal contest of stamina and teamwork, a raw demonstration of nature's unforgiving calculus. Tonight, the wolves' perseverance is rewarded. The pack will feed, and the youngest will gain the strength to face another day in this merciless land. Farther south, where the tundra meets the restless Arctic coast, endurance takes on a different form. From the shadowed forest, a brown bear emerges, its powerful silhouette framed against the snow. The bear's nose quivers, detecting the distant scent of decay on the wind. Drawn by this rare bounty, the bear lumbers toward the shore, where the immense carcass of a whale lies half-buried in sand, battered by the ceaseless surf. In this land of scarcity, such a windfall is a lifeline. Normally solitary and fiercely territorial, the bears are drawn together by the promise of sustenance. They approach the carcass with measured caution, each aware of the other's formidable strength and hunger. For a fleeting moment, rivalry is set aside as they feast side by side, their claws rending thick blubber while gulls wheel overhead, eager for scraps. Every bite is vital, fueling the bears for the long, punishing hibernation that lies ahead, a true test of endurance, where only the well-prepared will survive the months of darkness and cold. In the shadow of the Teton Mountains, endurance is measured in strength and resilience. Bull moose, their antlers heavy and imposing, wade through deep snow in search of the last remnants of forage. When two rivals meet, instinct takes over. They clash with thunderous force, antlers locking in a primal contest. Muscles strain, snow flies, and only the most tenacious will earn the right to pass on their lineage. Here, survival is not just about withstanding the cold, but about prevailing in the relentless struggle for dominance. Across the Northland, the elements themselves are adversaries. A sudden blizzard can erase all tracks, forcing even the strongest to seek shelter. In these whiteout conditions, a lone wolf presses on, its fur encrusted with ice, driven by hunger and the unyielding will to survive. Here, the land is as formidable as any predator, and every creature is shaped by its extremes. Endurance is not a choice. It is a necessity demanded by the ever-changing, merciless climate. In this wild and unforgiving Northland, the story of survival is written in acts of courage, adaptation, and relentless perseverance. From the cunning Arctic wolf to the mighty brown bear and the steadfast moose, each animal's journey is a testament to the power of endurance in a world ruled by ice, instinct, and the ceaseless rhythm of the seasons. As the sun rises once more, casting golden light across the frozen expanse, the cycle of life continues, undaunted, unbroken, and forever wild. In the secluded reaches of the northern wilderness, a silent transformation is always underway. Beavers, the consummate engineers of the animal kingdom, meticulously alter their environment with every bite and every branch. Their incisors, honed by constant use, slice through saplings along the river's edge. With practiced efficiency, they gather twigs, logs and mud, assembling intricate dams that interrupt the river's relentless flow. On the volcanic flanks of Mount St. Helens, where the land still bears the memory of ancient eruptions, beavers convert stark, lifeless streams into flourishing wetlands. Their dams slow the current, allowing water to pool and seep into the earth, creating marshes that teem with new growth. Over seasons, these industrious mammals transform barren ground into a living mosaic, where the echoes of volcanic upheaval are softened by the hum of thriving life. The beaver's constructions ripple outward, reshaping the entire ecosystem. Dams trap silt and enrich the soil, while the resulting wetlands become sanctuaries for a multitude of species. Dragonflies skim the water's surface, frogs gather in hidden coves, and herons stalk the shallows, each drawn by the abundance the beavers create. Every pond becomes a cradle for biodiversity, supporting life that would otherwise struggle to survive. From above, the beaver's legacy is unmistakable. A labyrinth of ponds and channels winding through the forest, nourishing both trees and meadows. As water accumulates behind each dam, the land awakens. Saplings emerge along the pond's rim, and the once parched earth is reborn as a vibrant patchwork of green. Farther north, the Chilkat River in Alaska flows with a hidden warmth. Geothermal springs feed its waters, keeping them liquid even as winter's chill locks the land in ice. Wisps of mist drift above the surface, while beneath the crystalline current, salmon push upstream, driven by instinct to complete their life's journey. Each autumn, the Chilkat becomes a magnet for one of nature's grandest spectacles. Hundreds, sometimes thousands, of bald eagles converge along the riverbanks, lured by the promise of the season's final salmon run. Perched in the trees or soaring overhead, these raptors scan the water for the glint of fish beneath the surface. For juvenile eagles, the river is both a proving ground and a classroom. Here they master the art of fishing, timing their dives, perfecting their aim, and learning to defend their catch from rivals. Each encounter is a lesson in survival, and only the most adept will secure enough food to endure the winter. The sky above the river becomes a stage for fierce aerial contests. Eagles lock talons in mid-air, feathers whirl in the cold wind, and their calls echo across the snow-laden banks. Each skirmish is a test of strength and agility as the birds compete for every morsel of salmon. For those who prevail, the reward is sustenance. A single fish can mean survival in the unforgiving cold. Eagles feast along the riverbank, their breath visible in the frosty air, each meal a testament to their tenacity and skill. The river itself is the artery of this wild domain, threading together forest, sky and water in a seamless web. Salmon leap against the current, otters slip through the flow, and wolves observe from the snowy banks, each life bound to the river's enduring pulse. At dawn, the landscape is awash in golden light. Beaver ponds stretch toward the river, where eagles gather to feed. Mist rises over the wetlands, and the silhouettes of beavers and eagles are etched against the horizon. Here, resilience and adaptation are inscribed in every sunrise. Every inhabitant, from the silent beaver to the vigilant eagle, relies on the river's abundance. Muskrats vanish beneath the surface, kingfishers plunge for fish, and deer pause to drink at the water's edge. Their lives are interwoven, each species essential to the river's ongoing story. Traces of their presence linger everywhere. Fur and feathers on the forest floor, paw prints pressed into frost, and the subtle ripple of water shaped by countless lives. In this intricate wilderness, the stories of engineers and hunters are forever woven into the land, carried forward by the ceaseless river of life. The Wild West, an untamed expanse where the land itself is a living chronicle, its every contour shaped by the relentless passage of time. As dawn breaks, golden sunlight spills across the desert plains, igniting the red sandstone with a fiery glow. The wind, ever patient, carves intricate patterns into the rock, sculpting arches and spires that stand as silent sentinels to the ages. Ancient petroglyphs, etched deep into canyon walls, bear witness to civilizations long vanished, their stories preserved in stone for millennia. On the horizon, thunderheads gather, their brooding forms casting vast shadows that race across the mesas. Lightning forks through the sky, illuminating jagged rock formations, each one a monument to the elemental forces that have shaped this land through countless storms and silences. Deep within the labyrinthine corridors of the Grand Canyon, a mountain lion reigns supreme. Perched atop a rocky outcrop, she surveys the canyon below, her tawny coat blending seamlessly with the sun-baked stone. The dust swirls around her paws, momentarily obscuring her presence before settling once more. As twilight descends, she slips into the moonlit sagebrush, her movements a masterclass in stealth and precision. Each step is calculated, a product of generations honed by the demands of survival in this unforgiving terrain. Her passage leaves only the faintest trace, a whisper in the dust, a shadow among the rocks, known only to those who truly understand the language of the wild. Far to the west, beneath a veil of rolling fog, the Pacific Ocean stirs with ancient rhythms. At dawn, a grey whale breaches, her immense form breaking the surface in a cascade of shimmering droplets. The air is thick with salt and anticipation as she arcs above the waves, a fleeting monument to the power and grace of the sea. Below, a mother guides her calf through dense kelp forests, their bodies weaving effortlessly between the swaying fronds. The ocean is a realm of both beauty and peril. Shadows of orcas glide silently in the distance, their presence a constant reminder of the delicate balance between predator and prey. Each mile traversed is a testament to instinct, endurance, and the unbroken lineage of migration that has shaped these leviathans for eons. In the sun-dappled oak woodlands of California, acorn woodpeckers orchestrate a symphony of survival. Their vibrant feathers flash in the sunlight as they dart between ancient branches, each movement purposeful and precise. With remarkable diligence, they chisel small holes into the bark, transforming the trees into living mosaics studded with hundreds of acorns. Each acorn is carefully selected and stored, a vital reserve for the lean months ahead. The woodpeckers' communal efforts create intricate patterns across the trunks, a testament to their ingenuity and cooperation. Their calls echo through the forest, a chorus of persistence and preparation that has endured for generations. As darkness envelops the land, the boundaries between wilderness and civilization blur. In the shadowy margins, where wild terrain meets the encroaching city, a mountain lion navigates a labyrinth of concrete and light. His silhouette slips through the patchwork of city lights, merging with the night as he moves beneath a freeway overpass. The roar of distant traffic and the glow of the skyline form a surreal backdrop to his solitary journey. Here the wild persists in the most unexpected places, adapting and enduring in the face of relentless change. The mountain lion's nightly odyssey is a testament to resilience, a silent negotiation between the ancient rhythms of the wild and the relentless advance of the modern world. From the whispering canyons to the restless city, the spirit of the Wild West endures, unyielding, ever adaptive. The land stories are etched into every stone, every wave, every wingbeat. A hawk soars high above, its keen eyes surveying both wilderness and city, its shadow drifting across the ever-shifting boundary between the two. Here, resilience is not merely survival, but the art of thriving where worlds collide and boundaries dissolve. The Wild West's legacy is alive in the creatures and landscapes that continue to shape its evolving tale, a testament to the enduring power of nature's narrative, written across the vast and varied canvas of the American frontier. As our journey draws to a close, we find ourselves surrounded by the silent legends of North America's wild, the true heroes whose stories are etched into every sunrise and shadow. At dawn, a bald eagle rides the thermals above a river valley, its feathers catching the first golden rays. Each powerful beat of its wings is a testament to survival, vigilance, and the unyielding pursuit of freedom. Beneath its flight, ancient redwoods loom in the mist, their bark thick with centuries of storms and sunlight. Every ring within their massive trunks records a saga of endurance, adaptation, and quiet strength, standing as living monuments to resilience. In the high country's icy streams, a river otter slips between boulders, its sleek body carving through the water with effortless agility. Every twist and dive is a dance of instinct, a balance between playfulness and the ever-present need to remain alert to lurking predators. On a blanket of untouched snow, a snowshoe hare darts forward, its oversized feet distributing weight so perfectly that it barely leaves a mark. Each leap is a calculated risk, a silent contest between camouflage and the sharp eyes of the forest hunters. Far to the north, musk oxen form a living fortress, their bodies pressed close as the Arctic wind howls across the tundra. Frost clings to their shaggy coats, each breath a cloud in the frigid air. Their unity is their shield, a collective resilience forged by generations of survival in a world of ice and scarcity. Nearby, a red fox curls deep within a hollow log, its fur fluffed against the cold. Eyes wide and unblinking, it listens to the muffled world outside, every muscle ready to spring at the faintest sign of opportunity or threat. As darkness settles, a great horned owl becomes the forest's silent sentinel. Perched high above, it scans the moonlit ground, its hearing so acute that even the faintest scurry betrays a hidden mouse. In the tangled underbrush, a lynx glides between shadows, each step measured and silent. Its tufted ears swivel, catching every whisper of movement, a master of patience, whose resilience is written in every calculated pause and sudden burst of speed. Autumn brings a spectacle of endurance as monarch butterflies cluster by the thousands, their fragile wings shimmering in the filtered sunlight. Each one has travelled thousands of miles, guided by an ancient map written in their very cells, defying storms and exhaustion to reach this sanctuary. In the rivers below, salmon surge upstream, their bodies battered by rocks and rapids. Driven by an unbreakable instinct, they leap against the current, each jump a heroic act of determination to return home and ensure the next generation. In a quiet pond, a beaver works through the night, its teeth carving through birch branches. With each careful placement, it transforms the landscape, building dams that create new wetlands and shelter countless other species. A quiet architect whose resilience shapes entire ecosystems. Above, an osprey hovers, eyes locked on the shimmering surface. In a flash, it dives, talons slicing through water, emerging with a wriggling fish, a testament to precision, patience, and the relentless pursuit of survival. On the wind-battered cliffs, mountain goats ascend with astonishing sure-footedness, their hooves gripping the narrowest ledges. Each step is a triumph over gravity, a daily act of courage in a world where a single misstep means disaster. Across the snowfields, a wolverine moves with relentless purpose, its powerful limbs carrying it over frozen ground. Scarred by battles and storms, it presses on, embodying the raw, untamable spirit of the wild. As dusk settles over the prairie, a bobcat slips through the grass, its spotted coat rendering it nearly invisible. Every movement is calculated, every pause a strategy honed by generations of survival in open country. Not far away, an armadillo roots through the leaf litter, its armoured shell gleaming in the last rays of sunlight. Adapted to withstand both predators and the elements, it is a living testament to the power of evolution and resilience. At the break of day, a herd of elk steps into a mist-shrouded river, their antlers rising like ancient crowns. Each stride through the cold water is a display of unity and strength, a ritual passed down through generations. In the marshes, sandhill cranes rise as one, their wings beating in flawless synchrony. Their calls echo across the wetlands, a chorus of resilience as they embark on a journey that will test every ounce of their endurance. On a barren slope, a bristlecone pine twists skyward, its gnarled branches shaped by centuries of relentless wind. Its roots clutch the rocky earth, drawing life from the most unforgiving soil, a living relic whose resilience has outlasted empires. Deep in the mangroves, a jaguarundi glides through tangled roots, its eyes catching the faintest glimmer of light. Elusive and adaptable, it thrives in the shadows, a master of survival in a world that never stands still. Across endless sagebrush, wild mustangs surge forward, their hooves pounding the earth in a symphony of freedom. Each gallop is a declaration of wildness, a refusal to be tamed by time or hardship. Over the frozen tundra, a snowy owl sweeps low, its wings cutting the air in utter silence. In the twilight, it becomes a ghostly guardian, perfectly attuned to the rhythms of a world defined by extremes. As the sun dips behind canyon walls, a river glimmers, winding its way through stone carved by eons of persistence. Its journey is slow but unstoppable, shaping the land with every passing year. On a distant ridge, a lone wolf stands against the fading light, its silhouette sharp against the sky. The wolf's howl rises, echoing through the wilderness, a call that speaks of endurance, unity, and the indomitable spirit that defines North America's wild heart. Here, resilience is not a memory, but a living force, woven into every feather, every paw print, every breath of wind, forever inspiring those who witness its power. Gap 2s. Under the relentless glare of the midday sun, the desert stretches endlessly, a vast expanse of scorched earth and undulating dunes. At first glance, it seems devoid of life, a place where only the sun and wind reign. Yet, as the camera lingers, the secrets of the sun-baked sands begin to reveal themselves. Subtle movements, fleeting shadows, and hidden forms emerge, exposing a world of remarkable adaptation and survival. The lens glides low across the dunes, tracing the elegant curves sculpted by centuries of wind. As golden hour descends, the landscape transforms. Shadows stretch, and the sand glows with a warm, ethereal radiance. Each ripple and crest is a silent record of shifting elements, a testament to the desert's ever-changing nature. Emerging from beneath the sand, a sidewinder rattlesnake glides in a mesmerizing sideways motion. Its unique movement leaves delicate looping tracks, an evolutionary marvel that minimizes contact with the scorching surface. This adaptation allows the snake to conserve energy and avoid burns, a perfect example of nature's ingenuity in the harshest environments. As the first light of dawn cools the air, a kit fox cautiously emerges from its burrow. Its oversized ears, finely attuned to the faintest vibrations, scan for the subtle rustle of prey beneath the sand. In this world of scarcity, every sense is sharpened, every movement calculated for survival. Gap 2s. Towering above the arid plain, saguaro cacti stand as silent sentinels, their arms reaching skyward. Their silhouettes are etched against the deepening twilight, guardians of the desert's secrets. As dusk settles, creamy white blossoms unfurl atop the cacti's arms, releasing a sweet fragrance that drifts on the cooling breeze. Nectar-seeking bats, guided by scent and memory, flit from flower to flower, pollinating these desert giants under the cover of darkness, a vital nocturnal partnership. On the parched ground, a Gila monster, one of the world's few venomous lizards, moves with deliberate precision. Its beaded skin glistens in the fading light as it searches beneath tangled creosote bushes for hidden nests. With a keen sense of smell, it locates eggs and young reptiles, relying on patience and stealth to secure its next meal. Nearby, the kangaroo rat springs into action, its powerful hind legs launching it high above the sand. With lightning speed, it dodges the silent approach of a great horned owl whose broad wings slice through the night air without a sound. This nightly contest of predator and prey is a delicate balance, each perfectly adapted to the demands of the desert night. Gap 2s. The camera narrows its focus to the cracked earth, where a tarantula hawk wasp, metallic blue and orange, navigates a maze of sun-baked soil. Driven by instinct, the wasp searches tirelessly for the burrow of a tarantula. Once found, it will paralyze its host and lay an egg, ensuring the next generation's survival in this unforgiving environment. This cycle of life and death is played out in miniature, hidden beneath the desert's surface. After a rare and fleeting rain, the desert undergoes a miraculous transformation. Seeds that have lain dormant for years burst into life, carpeting the sand with wildflowers in a riot of scarlet, violet, and gold. This ephemeral bloom is a fleeting celebration, a testament to the desert's hidden vitality. For a brief moment, the arid landscape is painted with vibrant hues, attracting pollinators and providing a feast for insects and birds alike. The desert silence is broken by the hum of bees and the flutter of wings, each visitor drawn by the promise of nectar and pollen. Gap 2s. In the shelter of a rugged outcrop, a desert bighorn sheep stands poised on a narrow ledge, its curved horns silhouetted against the fading light. With sure-footed grace, it surveys the labyrinth of sun-bleached canyons below, landscapes carved over millennia by the patient forces of wind and water. Every vantage point is a lookout for both danger and opportunity, a testament to the sheep's remarkable agility and resilience. On the desert floor, a roadrunner darts between spiny cholla, its speed and agility unmatched as it chases down lizards and insects. Each burst of movement is a calculated risk, a vital strategy in a world where every calorie counts and every meal is hard-won. As the heat intensifies, a desert tortoise slowly retreats into its burrow, sealing itself underground to conserve precious moisture. Its domed shell is a fortress, shielding it from predators and the relentless sun, a living example of patience and adaptation. Gap 2s. As the sun dips below the horizon, the temperature plummets. The desert, once silent and still, awakens with the chorus of nocturnal creatures, crickets, owls and coyotes, weaving a tapestry of sound beneath the stars. The camera ascends, unveiling a breathtaking panorama, painted cliffs glowing in the last light, salt flats gleaming like mirrors, and distant mesas rising from the earth. Each feature is a chapter in the geological history of this ancient land, shaped by eons of elemental force. Across this vast expanse, every plant and animal is intricately connected, forming a web of life where each species plays a vital role. From the smallest insect to the largest mammal, all are bound together in a delicate, interdependent balance. Here, in the heart of America's deserts, survival is not simply endurance, it is a triumph of adaptation, innovation, and beauty. The desert's harshness conceals a vibrant ecosystem, where life persists and flourishes against all odds. Every grain of sand, every shadow, and every living creature is a testament to nature's resilience, creativity, and the enduring secrets of the sun-baked sands. Gap 2s. At dawn, the wetlands awaken beneath a veil of mist, each droplet suspended in the cool air, cloaking the landscape in secrecy and wonder. Here, land and water merge in a shifting mosaic, marshes, swamps, and serpentine channels weaving together, their boundaries lost in the morning haze. Wisps of fog drift over silent pools, their glassy surfaces mirroring the sky, disturbed only by the subtle stirrings of hidden life below. A river otter slips through a labyrinth of lilies, its streamlined body carving shimmering trails across the water, vanishing as quickly as it appears. Dragonflies, radiant and agile, hover and dart along the water's edge, their movements painting fleeting flashes of colour against the dense green of reeds. Sunlight glances off their wings, scattering jewels of blue and green as they rest on dew-soaked stems, then vanish into the air. Gap 2s. Beneath the surface, a secret world stirs, rarely seen, yet teeming with life. Sunfish, their scales flickering in filtered light, weave through submerged roots and tangled logs, navigating a maze of underwater corridors. An ancient, snapping turtle, armoured and silent, glides through the gloom, a living echo of prehistoric times. Above, a great blue heron stands motionless at the water's edge, its gaze fixed, every muscle coiled in anticipation. The heron's patience is absolute, its silhouette a study in focus and restraint. In a flash, it strikes, its beak slicing through the water, capturing its quarry with unerring precision. Gap 2s. The camera glides low over a floating mat of duckweed, revealing a miniature world alive with movement. Tiny chorus frogs, no bigger than a thumbprint, leap across the emerald surface, their throats swelling as they call out in a chorus that fills the misty air. Their voices rise in a tapestry of trills and croaks, echoing across the water and signalling the day's beginning. Along the muddy banks, a muskrat emerges, its fur slick and dark, pausing to survey the shifting landscape. With practiced skill, it gathers reeds and stems, carrying them to reinforce the walls of its hidden lodge. Each movement is deliberate, each addition fortifying its shelter against the unpredictable tides and currents. Gap 2s. In a secluded alcove, the last light of evening bathes a gathering of ghostly white egrets. Their slender forms are mirrored in the tranquil water, reflections merging with the golden glow of dusk. Below, alligator gar, ancient and armoured, glide among cypress roots, their movements slow and deliberate beneath veils of Spanish moss. As twilight deepens, fireflies emerge, their lights flickering above the reeds, casting pulses of green and gold into the gathering darkness. Gap 2s. Night falls and the wetlands transform, alive with the calls of unseen creatures. Barred owls hoot from the shadows, rails slip silently through the reeds, and somewhere in the darkness the sudden slap of a beaver's tail sends ripples across the moonlit pond. The camera rises, revealing a vast tapestry of marshes, swamps, and winding waterways, an intricate network shaped by water's patient hand. Every patch of green, every shimmering pool is a cradle of life, supporting a web of creatures, each adapted to this ever-shifting world. Here, countless species find sanctuary, thriving in a realm sculpted by water's gentle persistence and the cycles of the seasons. Gap 2s. In these hidden domains, every ripple and shadow reveals a story of survival, adaptation, and delicate balance. The boundary between land and water dissolves, creating a seamless world where change is constant and life is ever evolving. In the mirrored surface of the marsh, the mysteries of America's wetlands unfold, subtle, fleeting, and profound. These fragile landscapes shaped by water and time remind us of nature's quiet strength and the secrets that linger just beneath the mist. Insicht. Gap 2s. As the first blush of dawn ignites the horizon, a crown of fire sweeps across the jagged peaks. America's mountain ranges, standing as ancient sentinels, their silhouettes carved by eons of wind, water, and tectonic upheaval. Each summit rises as a monument to the relentless forces that shaped this continent, their stony faces bearing the scars and stories of deep time. These mountains are not merely landforms, but living chronicles of the Earth's restless spirit, their profiles etched with the memory of shifting plates and volcanic fury. The camera glides above a boundless ocean of clouds, parting to reveal granite spires thrusting skyward. These colossal towers, sculpted by glacial ice and battered by storms, pierce the heavens, their sheer cliffs and razor ridges etched with the memory of ancient glaciers and volcanic fire. The interplay of light and shadow across these monoliths reveals a landscape in perpetual transformation, where every crag and pinnacle is a testament to the artistry of erosion and the patience of geological time. Frost clings to wind-bent pines, their branches twisted by relentless alpine winds. The first rays of sunlight spill across untouched snowfields, transforming the silence into a living canvas of rose and gold. Every snowdrift and icy cornice glimmers, hinting at the delicate balance between harshness and beauty that defines these heights. Here, the air is thin and crystalline, carrying the scent of stone and ice, and the only sounds are the whisper of wind and the distant crack of shifting snow. Gap 2s. The mountain's upper reaches are a realm of extremes, where temperature and weather can shift in an instant. Towering cornices and knife-edged ridges stand as silent witnesses to the power of winter storms, while deep cirques cradle ancient snowfields that persist through the heat of summer, feeding the rivers that carve the valleys far below. In the shadowed crevices, the landscape is a study in contrasts. Sunlit granite faces give way to shadowed alcoves where ice lingers year-round. Lichen and moss in subtle hues of emerald and silver cling to the rocks, thriving in the thin, cold air where few other forms of life can endure. These pioneers slowly transform bare stone into living tapestry, their presence a testament to patience and resilience. The alpine meadows, perched high above the tree line, burst into colour each summer as wildflowers, columbine, lupine and paintbrush, carpet the slopes. Here the soil is thin and the growing season brief, yet the diversity of plant life is astonishing. Each bloom is a fleeting miracle, adapted to survive the relentless cycle of freeze and thaw, drought and deluge. Gap 2s. The lens plunges into a hidden glacial tarn, its waters impossibly clear and cold. The surface mirrors the serrated skyline above, every ripple distorting the reflection of peaks that have stood for millennia. Beneath the glassy surface, cutthroat trout dart between submerged logs and the tangled roots of ancient spruce, their scales flashing in the filtered sunlight, a glimpse into a world as pristine and untouched as the air above. Above, a golden eagle rides invisible thermals, its wings outstretched as it circles high above the valleys. With eyes sharper than any lens, it surveys the slopes and cliffs, a master of the skies in this realm of extremes. The eagle's flight is a study in grace and precision, its silhouette a fleeting shadow against the endless blue. The lakes and tarns, fed by snowmelt and glacial runoff, are jewels set in the crown of the mountains. Their waters, filtered by centuries of stone, are among the purest on earth. The clarity reveals a submerged world of intricate detail. Smooth stones, sunken branches, and the slow drift of aquatic plants, all illuminated by shafts of sunlight that penetrate the surface. Gap 2s. Along the ridgelines, ancient bristlecone pines twist skyward, their gnarled forms shaped by centuries of wind and frost. Some of these trees have stood for thousands of years, their growth rings recording the passage of time and the changing climate of the high country. Their resilience is a living chronicle of endurance, a testament to the power of adaptation in the face of adversity. The slopes are etched with the scars of avalanches and rockfalls, reminders of the mountain's restless energy. In spring, meltwater cascades down the cliffs in ephemeral waterfalls, their music echoing through granite corridors before vanishing into the talus below. These fleeting streams nourish pockets of life, sustaining mosses, ferns and wildflowers in sheltered nooks. Gap 2s. As twilight descends, the mountains undergo a transformation. Shadows lengthen, and the world softens beneath a veil of indigo and silver. Mist pours down the slopes, filling the valleys with shifting veils that drift and swirl, obscuring and revealing the landscape in a slow, mesmerizing dance. The night air grows crisp, and the silence deepens. Among the twisted bristlecone pines, a chorus of crickets rises, their song mingling with the cool night air. Above, the stars ignite, sharp, innumerable and dazzling in the mountain darkness, each one a silent witness to the ages. In this realm of extremes, every stone, every living thing is shaped by the ceaseless interplay of altitude, isolation, and elemental force. The mountains are both fortress and sanctuary, their grandeur a testament to the enduring power and beauty of the natural world. Gap 2s. The camera ascends once more, tracing the spine of the continent. A seemingly endless procession of summits, each shrouded in cloud and legend, each holding secrets locked in stone and ice. Here, at the very roof of America, the wild endures, raw, unyielding, and magnificent. The mountains whisper their secrets into the thin, cold air, their voices carried on the wind to those who listen. These mountains, timeless and untamed, cradle mysteries as deep as the valleys below. Their grandeur is a call to the spirit of exploration, a reminder that in the heart of America's wildest places, the story of the earth is still being written, one stone, one peak, one sunrise at a time. In the silent majesty of these ranges, the enduring power of nature is revealed, unyielding, awe-inspiring, and forever shaping the land and the imagination of all who behold it. Ye Gap 2s. As twilight deepens, a velvet shroud settles over the American wilderness. The last golden rays slip behind distant ridges, and the world transforms beneath the tapestry of stars. In this profound darkness, the wild stirs with anticipation, every corner brimming with unseen activity. Beneath the dense canopy, the forest floor is a stage for countless dramas. Shrews dart between mossy roots, their tiny bodies weaving through a labyrinth of fallen leaves. A vole pauses, whiskers twitching as it senses the faint vibration of an owl's wing overhead. Every shadow conceals a life, every rustle a silent exchange in the language of survival. The camera glides low across a moonlit meadow where dew clings to every blade of grass, refracting the pale light into 1,000 miniature stars. Moths flutter above the ground, their delicate wings shimmering as they navigate by the faintest glimmer. Crickets chirp in hidden clusters, their rhythmic calls weaving a tapestry of sound that blankets the open field. Suddenly, a pair of luminous eyes pierces the darkness. An eastern screech owl, feathers mottled for perfect camouflage, glides silently between ancient oaks. Its talons flex in anticipation, and its head swivels with uncanny precision, locking onto the faintest tremor below. A mouse frozen in place, heart pounding in the hush of the night. Gap 2s. In the tangled undergrowth, a striped skunk emerges, moving with deliberate confidence. Its white plume glows faintly in the silvery moonlight, a warning to any would-be predator. The skunk pauses, nose twitching, as it detects the scent of beetles beneath the leaf litter, then resumes its slow, methodical search for a midnight meal. The lens follows as the skunk noses through the leaf litter, methodically uncovering beetles, grubs, and earthworms. Each morsel is unearthed with practiced skill, the skunk's sensitive snout guiding it to hidden treasures. The forest's midnight banquet is a quiet affair, each bite a testament to the delicate balance of nocturnal life. Nearby, the stillness is shattered by a sudden chorus. Tree frogs perched along the pond's edge inflate their throats and release a symphony of trills and croaks. Their calls ripple across the water, each note a coded message. territory, attraction warning, woven into the fabric of the night. Gap 2s. Far from the forest, the desert reveals its own nocturnal drama. Under the cold gaze of the moon, the landscape is transformed. Cacti cast long, surreal shadows, and the air cools rapidly, inviting a new cast of creatures to emerge. The silence is broken only by the soft patter of paws on sand and the distant call of a nightjar. Saguaro cacti stand as silent sentinels, while a kit fox, agile and alert, slips between their shadows. Its oversized ears swivel, capturing the faintest scuttle of a kangaroo rat. The fox crouches, muscles tensed, then springs forward in a blur, every movement a calculated risk in the moonlit expanse. On the canyon rim, a ring-tailed cat, nimble and elusive, leaps from stone to stone. Its long, banded tail provides perfect balance as it navigates the rocky terrain, a ghostly figure in the moonlight. The ringtail pauses, nose quivering, before vanishing into a crevice in pursuit of a scurrying lizard. Gap 2s. In the wetlands, the surface of a blackwater slough shimmers with reflected starlight. The water is still, save for the occasional ripple betraying unseen movement below. A turtle surfacing for air or a fish darting through submerged roots. Suddenly, a pair of eyes glows above the water's surface, an alligator perfectly adapted for nocturnal hunting. It remains motionless, nostrils just above the waterline, waiting for the subtle vibration of a frog's leap or the careless splash of a fish. Fireflies drift above the reeds, their bioluminescent bodies painting the darkness with drifting sparks. Each flash is a silent signal, a coded invitation in the search for a mate, their lights weaving intricate patterns through the humid night air. From the shadows, a raccoon emerges, its masked face intent. With agile paws, it feels along the muddy bottom, fishing for crayfish and small fish by touch alone. The raccoon's movements are deliberate, each gesture refined by countless nights spent foraging in the moonlit marsh. Gap 2s. High in the mountains, the camera lingers on a snowfield bathed in starlight. The silence is profound, broken only by the distant call of an owl or the soft crunch of snow beneath a passing animal. Frost crystals glint on the surface, each one a tiny prism reflecting the cold brilliance of the night. A great horned owl perches atop a frost-rimed pine, its silhouette sharp against the night sky. The owl's head swivels with predatory precision, ears tuned to the faintest sound below, ready to swoop at a moment's notice. Its talons flex, gripping the icy branch as it waits for the perfect opportunity. Below, a family of flying squirrels launches from tree to tree. Their bodies stretch into aerodynamic forms, gliding effortlessly through the cold air. They land with barely a sound, vanishing into the shadows as quickly as they appeared, their nocturnal journeys mapped by memory and instinct. Gap 2os. As the first hints of dawn colour the horizon, the nocturnal ballet begins to fade. The creatures of the night slip away, vanishing into burrows, hollows and thickets, leaving only faint traces of their passage in the dew and the silence. The camera rises, capturing the last stars winking out above a mist-laced valley. The world is hushed, suspended between night and day as the wild prepares for a new chapter. The secrets of the night linger in the cool air, waiting to be awakened again. In these hidden hours, the wild pulses with secret life, each animal uniquely adapted to thrive in darkness. From the silent hunters to the cautious foragers, every moment is a testament to survival and the beauty of adaptation, each encounter a fleeting glimpse into a world rarely seen. For those who watch and listen, the night reveals its wonders, intricate, fleeting, and utterly alive. Every shadow holds a story, every sound a secret, waiting for the patient observer to discover the marvels of America's nocturnal wild. Gap 2s. Across the immense tapestry of America's wild, time is marked not by hours or minutes, but by the profound and intricate transitions that sweep across forests, prairies, mountains, and wetlands. Here, the rhythm of the seasons is the silent architect, shaping every living thing and every landscape with its relentless, cyclical pulse. As winter's icy hold begins to wane, the camera soars above a northern forest. Patches of snow linger in the shadows, slowly receding beneath the strengthening sun. The land is poised on the edge of transformation, still, silent, and waiting for the first breath of spring. Meltwater seeps through the forest floor, tracing intricate paths over moss-laden stones. Each droplet, once locked in winter's embrace, now carries the promise of renewal, feeding brooks that awaken with the gentle music of flowing water. The forest stirs, every sound amplified in the crisp air. In the thawing undergrowth, a black bear emerges from her den, her fur dusted with the last remnants of frost. Her cubs, blinking in the pale sunlight, step tentatively into a world alive with the sense of damp earth and new growth. The forest is awakening, and every creature senses the shift. Gap 2s. Overhead, the sky is streaked with the white ribbons of snow geese in migration. Their synchronized formations carve patterns across the blue, their calls echoing over wetlands and valleys. This ancient journey signals the return of abundance as life surges northward with the warming days. On the damp forest floor, woodland salamanders emerge from their burrows, weaving silently through carpets of blooming trillium. Their skin glistens with rain, each movement a delicate negotiation between moisture and warmth, a testament to the fragile balance that defines early spring. Gap 2s. As spring matures, the prairies awaken in a vibrant display of colour and motion. Tall grasses, painted in hues of gold and green, sway in the wind, their movement rippling like waves across the open land. The prairie is alive, every blade and blossom responding to the lengthening days. The camera draws close to a monarch caterpillar, its striped body inching along a milkweed leaf. This tiny traveller is at the start of an epic transformation, one that will carry it across continents and through the heart of the changing seasons. In the heart of the prairie, bison calves bound through clouds of dust, their playful energy a vivid contrast to the stoic adults. Each leap and kick is a celebration of survival, a testament to the resilience that defines life on the open plains. Nearby, prairie dogs stand sentinel at their burrow entrances, noses twitching as they read the shifting winds for signs of approaching storms or distant predators. Their vigilance is a constant, woven into the fabric of prairie life. In mountain meadows, elk graze among a tapestry of wildflowers. Their velvet antlers catch the first light of dawn, glowing softly against the mist and dew. The air is cool, filled with the scent of blooming lupine and the distant call of a mountain jay. Gap 2s. As the days shorten, the lush greens of summer yield to the fiery palette of autumn. Forests transform, their canopies igniting in a blaze of crimson, gold and amber. The change is sudden yet inevitable, a signal that the cycle is turning once more. The lens glides through hardwood groves where every leaf seems to burn with its own inner light. The air is crisp, scented with earth and the faint tang of decaying foliage. Underfoot, the forest floor is a mosaic of colour, each step a soft crunch in the silence. Squirrels scurry across the forest floor, gathering acorns with frantic determination. Each nut is carefully buried, a cache against the coming scarcity of winter. Their instinct is precise, honed by generations of survival. On a still pond, a family of wood ducks glides through the morning mist. Their reflections ripple across the water, the silence broken only by the soft dip of webbed feet. The pond is a mirror, capturing the fleeting beauty of autumn. Along the riverbanks, salmon leap upstream, their bodies flashing silver against the golden backdrop of autumn leaves. Driven by ancient instinct, they fight the current to reach the gravel beds where life begins anew. Gap 2s. As autumn fades, the land braces for winter's return. Frost creeps across the wilderness, transforming meadows and forests into a world of crystalline silence. The air sharpens, and every surface glistens with the first touch of ice. On the tundra, Arctic foxes don their immaculate white coats, blending seamlessly into the snow. Their movements are swift and purposeful, each step calculated for survival in the frozen expanse. The landscape is stark yet alive with hidden activity. In the Appalachian woods, a white-tailed deer moves quietly through deep drifts, pausing to nibble lichen from frost-encrusted branches. Every motion is measured, conserving precious energy as food grows scarce. The forest is hushed, every sound muffled by snow. Above the frozen rivers, a bald eagle soars beneath a slate-grey sky, its keen eyes searching for the faintest sign of movement beneath the ice. The eagle's flight is a solitary vigil, a symbol of endurance in the heart of winter. Gap 2s. Each season brings its own set of challenges and opportunities. The wild is in constant flux, shaped by cycles of abundance and scarcity, warmth and cold, light and darkness. Every creature, every plant is attuned to these changes, adapting in ways both subtle and profound. Animals respond with remarkable adaptations. Fur thickens to ward off the chill, feathers are shed and renewed, and ancient migrations begin as herds and flocks move in search of food and shelter. The landscape itself transforms, offering new challenges and new opportunities with every turn of the season. Through every hardship and every bounty, America's wildlife endures. From the smallest salamander to the mightiest bison, each creature finds its place in the eternal rhythm of the land, shaped by forces as old as the continent itself. As night falls, the camera lifts to the heavens. Stars wheel in silent arcs above the ever-changing landscapes, a cosmic reminder that the pulse of the seasons is the heartbeat of the wild, timeless, enduring, and forever in motion. The rhythm of America's wild is unbroken, a symphony of change that echoes through every living thing, every stone, every drop of water, and every breath of wind. Gap 2s. Beneath the vast wilderness of America, a labyrinth of water silently shapes the land. Rivers, streams, and lakes form a living network, each channel and basin a vital conduit for energy and renewal. These waterways, both hidden beneath dense canopies and exposed across open plains, etch their paths through ancient stone and fertile earth, defining the contours of the continent. From snow-capped summits to sprawling lowlands, water is the unseen force, carving deep canyons, nurturing forests, and sustaining the intricate web of life that flourishes in these wild domains. The lens sweeps over a river delta at dawn, where mist unfurls in delicate strands above a maze of water channels. Each river braid shimmers in the gentle glow of sunrise, weaving a luminous pattern across the landscape. Gap 2s. Tracing the current to its source, snowmelt rushes over ancient granite, feeding a series of crystalline alpine lakes. These high-altitude basins, encircled by jagged peaks, store the essence of life destined for the valleys below. Beneath the rippling surface, a microcosm thrives. Mayfly larvae anchor themselves to smooth stones, their forms streamlined for the relentless current. Aquatic insects flourish in the oxygen-rich flow, forming the base of a food web that supports a multitude of species, each adapted to the ever-changing aquatic environment. In the clarity of a mountain stream, a cutthroat trout navigates the cool, sunlit water, its movements precise and fluid. The stream's rhythm guides its journey, while the river below broadens and slows, winding through wetlands where water nourishes a patchwork of grasses, reeds, and wildflowers, each thriving in the gentle current. In the tranquil marsh, the silhouette of a great blue heron stands among the reeds, mirrored perfectly on the still water. The surface remains undisturbed, save for the faintest ripple, a subtle sign of movement beneath. On sunlit logs, turtles rest, their shells glistening with moisture. Dragonflies hover and dart above blooming water lilies, their wings catching the light as they patrol the surface. Gap twos. Far overhead, a flock of pelicans glides in formation, tracing the river's winding path from mountain springs to the vastness of inland seas. Along muddy banks, beavers gather branches, weaving them into robust lodges. Their dams slow the current, forming ponds that become havens for a diversity of aquatic life. Gap twos. In the depths of a secluded oxbow lake, a school of base manoeuvres through submerged timber, each fish weaving through the underwater maze in search of food and shelter. Crayfish scuttle among tangled roots, their armoured forms camouflaged in the shifting shadows. Muskrats glide silently through dense cattails, carving hidden channels that link pond to pond. Gap twos. As the sun sets, the camera pans across a sweeping wetland, where rivers and lakes reflect the vibrant hues of dusk, each waterway a vital strand in the continent's living fabric. As twilight deepens, fireflies appear, their lights flickering above the water's edge. They trace silent patterns across the darkening wetlands. Gap twos. The view expands, revealing rippling water that links forests, prairies, and distant mountains, each drop a crucial part of the endless cycle of renewal. Within these interconnected waters, biodiversity flourishes. Fish, amphibians, and birds coexist in pristine waterways, each species contributing to the balance of the ecosystem. The unbroken flow links distant habitats, ensuring that every organism is part of a greater, unified system. As darkness falls, the camera ascends above the continent, unveiling a luminous network of rivers and lakes beneath a star-filled sky. These ever-flowing lifelines sustain the wild heart of America, linking mountain to coast, forest to prairie, and weaving the past, present and future into a seamless chain of life. Gap twos. Beneath the towering canopy, where sunlight filters through a dense mosaic of leaves, the forest floor becomes a hidden metropolis. Here, the undergrowth forms a living labyrinth. Ferns unfurl, mosses carpet the ground, and fallen branches create bridges for the smallest inhabitants. Every inch teems with life, much of it invisible to the casual observer. In this shadowed world, survival is a matter of adaptation, specialization, and relentless ingenuity. In this microcosm, ants are the engineers of the underworld. Their trails, invisible to the naked eye, are highways of pheromones, chemical signals that orchestrate the movement of thousands. Each ant is born into a caste, its role predetermined. Scouts venture into the unknown, mapping resources and dangers. Soldiers stand guard, their mandibles ready to repel invaders. Workers labour tirelessly, tending to the queen and nurturing the next generation. Their colonies are fortresses, constructed from grains of soil and fragments of leaves, with intricate ventilation systems and chambers for food storage. Ants communicate through touch, scent and vibration, forming a collective intelligence that allows them to outmaneuver threats and exploit fleeting opportunities. Their ability to adapt, shifting strategies in response to weather, predators and competition, ensures their dominance in nearly every terrestrial ecosystem. Gap 2s. As dawn breaks over a dew-soaked meadow, the world glistens with possibility. Perched atop a slender blade of grass, a jumping spider surveys its domain. Its 8 eyes, arranged in a semicircle, scan for the faintest movement. The spider's body is a marvel of biomechanics. Muscles coil, ready to unleash a leap many times its own length. With a sudden burst, it springs forward, ensnaring a fly in a split second. Here, patience and precision are the difference between feast and famine, and every hunt is a testament to evolutionary perfection. Gap 2s. As the sun dips below the horizon, twilight awakens a chorus of spring peeper frogs. Perched on a mossy log, their translucent skin shimmers in the fading light. Each male inflates his vocal sac, producing a piercing call that echoes across the pond. These calls are more than mere noise. They are coded messages, each note a signal to potential mates and a challenge to rivals. Yet every song carries risk, for predators also listen in the darkness, drawn by the promise of an easy meal. The delicate balance between attraction and danger plays out nightly in this amphibian symphony. Gap 2s. Far to the south and west, the desert's harsh expanse is home to the velvet ant. A misnomer, for this striking creature is a wingless wasp. Its vivid red and black coloration is a warning, advertising a sting that few predators dare challenge. The velvet ant's journey across the scorching sand is a study in endurance. Its thick exoskeleton shields it from the relentless sun, while its solitary lifestyle reduces competition for scarce resources. Every adaptation, from its powerful jaws to its chemical defences, is honed by generations of survival in one of Earth's most unforgiving environments. Gap 2s. Deep within the heart of a decaying log, bark beetles carve out a hidden existence. Their tiny bodies tunnel through wood, creating intricate galleries that serve as both shelter and nursery. The beetle's relationship with symbiotic fungi is essential. These microscopic partners break down tough cellulose, transforming dead trees into fertile soil. The beetle's jaws, though minuscule, are relentless, shaping the very structure of their world. In this dark, humid microhabitat, life and decay are inseparable, and the cycle of renewal continues unseen. Gap 2s. As night falls, the forest transforms. On the damp leaf litter, a firefly larva glows with an ethereal green light, a silent warning to would-be predators of its unpalatable taste. Above, adult fireflies begin their luminous ballet, each flash a carefully timed signal in the search for a mate. The patterns are unique to each species, a language written in light and shadow. For a brief window each summer, these tiny beetles turn the darkness into a living constellation, their bioluminescence a marvel of chemistry and communication. Gap 2s. Across North America, from the cool, damp mossbeds of alpine forests to the sun-baked crevices of the desert, small creatures employ a dazzling array of survival strategies. Some blend seamlessly into their surroundings, their colours and shapes mimicking stones, twigs or lichen. Others rely on mimicry, adopting the appearance of more dangerous species to deter predators. Teamwork, resilience, and adaptability are the hallmarks of these survivors. The camera pans wide, revealing a living tapestry, each thread a unique story of adaptation, each movement a vital part of the ecosystem's rhythm. Gap 2s. In the shadowy world of the Minuscule, survival is a daily performance, silent, swift, and often unseen. Here the stakes are high and the margins razor-thin. Every decision, every adaptation is the result of countless generations of trial and error. For those who look closely, the greatest dramas of the wild are not always played out by the largest or loudest, but by the smallest, whose lives shape the very foundation of America's untamed beauty. Gap 2s. Some of the most ingenious survival secrets are found in the art of deception. The inchworm, nearly indistinguishable from the twig it mimics, escapes the notice of hungry birds. Pseudoscorpions, tiny arachnids, wield venomous pincers and secrete silk to construct protective retreats beneath bark, defending themselves from predators many times their size. These strategies are not mere accidents of evolution, but the result of relentless pressure to survive in a world where being seen can mean certain death. Gap 2s. Water striders exploit the physics of surface tension, skating across ponds and streams to hunt and evade danger. Springtails, among the oldest terrestrial animals, possess a specialized appendage that catapults them away from threats in a fraction of a second. These feats of agility and adaptation are the product of millions of years of refinement, allowing even the tiniest creatures to persist in the face of adversity. Gap 2s. Camouflage and armor are equally vital. The lacewing larva cloaks itself in debris, becoming nearly invisible to both prey and predator. Pillbugs or woodlice curl into armored spheres, their segmented plates forming an impenetrable shield. These defenses, both passive and active, are essential for survival in a world where danger lurks at every turn. Gap 2s. And in the hidden microcosms of moss and lichen, the tardigrade, America's most resilient microanimal, endures extremes that would annihilate most life. By entering a cryptobiotic state, it can survive desiccation, freezing, and even the vacuum of space. Its secret lies in unique proteins and sugars that protect its cells, a testament to the extraordinary resilience of life at the smallest scale. Gap 2s. In every corner of America's wild places, the smallest creatures reveal the most intricate survival secrets. Their lives are a symphony of adaptation, innovation, and persistence, each one a vital note in the grand composition of nature. Gap 2s. Across the sprawling, untamed frontiers of America, a force both ancient and elemental sweeps through the wild. Fire. It is a phenomenon as old as the land itself, a relentless sculptor that carves its signature into forests, prairies, and mountains. Fire is feared for its power to devastate, yet it is also revered as a vital agent of transformation, orchestrating the eternal dance between destruction and rebirth. Wildfires ignite with a sudden, unpredictable fury, racing through dense woodlands and open grasslands. Sometimes their advance is a chaotic surge, driven by wind and drought. Other times, fire is guided by careful hands in controlled burns, mimicking nature's own rhythms. Each blaze, whether sparked by a lightning strike or set with intention, is a catalyst for profound ecological change. The first embers shimmer in the brittle grass, weaving a tapestry of gold and amber as dusk settles over the prairie. Heat ripples through the air, and the crackle of burning stems signals the start of a dramatic transformation. The landscape is poised on the edge of change. Flames leap skyward, painting the horizon in vivid streaks of orange and crimson. The inferno devours everything in its path: fallen branches, tangled undergrowth, even the towering trunks of ancient trees. In its wake, the land is stripped bare, a stark canvas of black and grey. In these moments, devastation is absolute. Yet within the ashes, a silent promise stirs, a renewal that only fire can unlock, hidden beneath the surface of apparent ruin. Gap 2s. From the towering ponderosa pines of the Rockies to the sprawling longleaf savannas of the southeast, fire is nature's architect. It clears away the old and the weak, opening the canopy to sunlight and making space for new life to surge upward. The camera glides low across a forest floor, cloaked in ash, the earth transformed into a muted mosaic of black and silver. Charred trunks stand as silent sentinels, bearing witness to the fire's relentless passage. Yet beneath this seemingly lifeless crust, the first stirrings of renewal begin. Microbes and insects awaken, breaking down the remnants of the past and weaving nutrients back into the soil, setting the stage for a new chapter. Seeds, armoured by evolution and dormant for years, sense the heat and split open. Some, like the serotinous cones of lodgepole pines, require fire's touch to release their seeds, ensuring that the next generation will rise from the ashes. Tiny green shoots pierce the blackened earth, their emergence a testament to nature's resilience. Grasses, ferns and wildflowers are the first to reclaim the land, their roots anchoring the soil and preventing erosion as they knit the landscape back together. Gap 2s. In the chaparral, the lens lingers on a manzanita shrub, its branches twisted and resilient, perfectly adapted to thrive in fire-prone terrain. The bark, once blackened and brittle, peels away to reveal a flush of ruby-red growth beneath, a living emblem of recovery, adaptation, and the relentless push of life. Fire-adapted wildflowers, fire poppies blazing star, erupt in a sudden bloom, painting the hillsides with vibrant colour. Their petals beckon pollinators who flock to this brief, abundant feast, ensuring the cycle of renewal continues. Gap 2s. From above, elk and bison graze in meadows where fire has swept away tangled undergrowth. Tender shoots of grass replace the old, providing a banquet for these iconic grazers and restoring balance to the ecosystem. Overhead, a red-tailed hawk glides in slow circles, its sharp gaze scanning the recovering land for movement. The shifting landscape offers new opportunities, and every creature adapts, their lives woven into the ever-evolving tapestry of the wild. Gap 2s. The camera peers into a hollow log, its interior still radiating the warmth of the recent blaze. Inside, a microcosm of life is already taking hold, sheltered, persistent, and quietly industrious. Beetles and fungi are among the first to return, breaking down charred wood and weaving nutrients back into the soil. Their silent labour is essential, laying the groundwork for the forest's eventual resurgence. In time, saplings rise among the blackened trunks, and a mosaic of plant life emerges, richer, more diverse, and better adapted to the challenges ahead. The forest's lost canopy is slowly reclaimed, branch by branch, leaf by leaf. Gap 2s. As dusk falls, the scorched land glistens beneath a gentle rain. Each droplet seeps into the earth, nourishing the soil and hastening the process of renewal. Wisps of steam curl upward from the damp ground, carrying the scent of rebirth, a subtle blend of ash, earth, and the promise of new growth. The legacy of fire is not measured by what it destroys, but by what it leaves behind. A landscape reset, brimming with potential and the seeds of countless new beginnings. Gap 2s. In the wild heart of America, fire is both destroyer and creator. Its ancient wisdom shapes the land, forging a delicate balance between loss and renewal, chaos and order. As the sun rises over a recovering forest, new life unfurls from the ashes, a phoenix reborn in the wild. This is the enduring promise of nature. From every ending, a new beginning takes flight, ensuring the land remains vibrant, resilient, and ever renewed. Gap 2s. Across the immense and varied expanse of America, a network of invisible highways pulses with the movement of life. Ancient routes carved not by wheels or feet, but by the instinctual journeys of countless wild creatures. The camera glides above endless prairies, their grasses rippling in the wind, and soars over snow-capped peaks, tracing the time-worn paths that millions of animals follow each year. Routes shaped by survival, by the promise of food, and by the unyielding pull of instinct. Gap 2s. We ascend into the sky, following the Central Flyway, a superhighway for migratory birds that stretches from the Arctic tundra to the Gulf Coast, a corridor that has guided avian travellers for millennia. At dawn, columns of snow geese rise in unison, their white wings catching the first light as they etch luminous ribbons across the sky, each bird guided by an internal compass that never falters. Their journey is perilous, spanning thousands of miles, demanding precise navigation and unwavering endurance. Their synchronized flight forms a living river in the air, a spectacle of precision and unity as they surge southward in search of warmer wetlands and abundant food. Each formation is a masterpiece of aerodynamics, reducing wind resistance and conserving energy for the long voyage ahead. Below, sandhill cranes emerge from the mist-shrouded wetlands, their silhouettes tall and graceful against the pale morning light. These ancient birds, with their distinctive red crowns, have followed the same migratory routes for generations, their memories etched into the landscape. Their haunting, trumpet-like calls echo through the fog, a chorus that signals the start of another leg in their epic journey as they gather in flocks and lift into the sky, joining the great aerial migration. Gap 2s. The lens now plunges beneath the emerald canopy of a forest where a different migration unfolds, one of delicate endurance and astonishing precision. Monarch butterflies, delicate yet determined, flutter like living petals, their wings shimmering with the colours of sunset as they embark on a journey that spans continents. Each individual weighs less than a paperclip, yet together they traverse thousands of miles, defying storms and predators. They drift over mountain passes and sweep across endless farmland, propelled by a memory encoded in their very being, a memory that guides them to distant forests they have never seen. Their navigation relies on the sun's position and the Earth's magnetic field, a marvel of natural engineering. Each butterfly is part of a relay across generations, driven by an ancient urge to reach the sanctuaries of Mexico, where millions will gather in a living tapestry. The journey is fraught with hazards, loss of habitat, unpredictable weather, and the ever-present threat of exhaustion. In slow motion, a monarch alights on a milkweed blossom, its delicate legs grasping the flower as it sips nectar, gathering strength for the final push of its odyssey. Milkweed is not just a food source, it is a lifeline, essential for the survival of the next generation. This brief pause is vital, fuel for the journey ahead, a moment of stillness before the next wave of flight. Gap 2s. Time accelerates as a cinematic time-lapse reveals herds of pronghorn antelope threading their way through the sagebrush seas of Wyoming, their migration among the longest of any land mammal in North America. Their movement is swift and purposeful, a ribbon of tan and white weaving through the open landscape, always alert, always moving. Pronghorns are built for speed, capable of outrunning nearly any predator, their bodies honed by centuries of selection. Hooves drum a steady rhythm on the earth, each step a testament to endurance and the need for vast, unbroken land. Fences and roads pose modern obstacles, but the ancient urge to move endures. The herd navigates around snowdrifts and rivers, their path shaped by the contours of the land and the ever-present search for safety. Each migration is a test of memory and adaptability, as pronghorns recall the safest routes year after year. Eyes wide and vigilant, pronghorns scan the horizon for predators, their survival dependent on speed and awareness. The open plains offer little cover, making vigilance a constant necessity. Each migration is a living link to the ancient rhythms of the continent, a journey that has shaped both animal and landscape for millennia. Gap 2s. Beneath the ocean's surface, another migration unfolds in silence and shadow as grey whales embark on one of the longest mammalian migrations on Earth. The camera glides alongside grey whales as they carve a path along the Pacific coastline, their massive forms moving with grace through the blue depths. These gentle giants travel up to 12,000 miles round-trip, guided by memory and the subtle cues of ocean currents. Mothers and calves navigate forests of kelp and rocky headlands, guided by ancient routes passed down through generations. The calves, born in the warm lagoons of Baja California, must quickly gain strength for the long journey north. They communicate with haunting calls and low rumbles, using echoes in the deep to stay connected as they travel. These vocalizations are vital for navigation and social bonding in the vast, featureless ocean. Their migration is a marathon, thousands of miles from Arctic feeding grounds to the warm lagoons of Baja California, a journey of endurance, memory, and the promise of new life. Along the way, they face threats from orcas, entanglement, and shifting ocean conditions. Gap 2s. On the tundra, the migration of caribou is a spectacle of sheer numbers and determination, a living river of life that transforms the northern wilderness. Vast herds surge across the open tundra in undulating lines, their movement a living wave that transforms the landscape. The migration can number in the hundreds of thousands, each animal driven by the need to reach calving grounds, rich in food and safety. Calves press close to their mothers as they cross icy rivers and climb rugged ridges, each step a test of strength and resilience. The journey is fraught with danger, rushing water, steep terrain, and the constant threat of predators. Overhead, golden eagles soar, their keen eyes tracking the herds below, drawn by the abundance that migration brings. These raptors rely on the migration for sustenance, their fate intertwined with the caribou's journey. The eagles circle high above, ever watchful, their presence a reminder of the interconnectedness of predator and prey. Gap 2s. As dusk settles over the desert, a new migration emerges from the shadows, one that unfolds in the realm of night. The screen fills with a swirling ballet of bats, tens of thousands pouring from a cave in a living stream. These nocturnal navigators are crucial pollinators and insect controllers, their nightly journeys vital to the ecosystem. They spiral into the twilight, their wings beating in a blur as they embark on nightly migrations in search of insects and nectar. Each bat's flight is a marvel of agility, guided by echolocation that maps the world in sound. Each bat is a master of the night, navigating by echolocation, weaving through the darkness in pursuit of sustenance. Their presence keeps insect populations in check, maintaining the delicate balance of the desert night. Their movements paint the sky with fleeting shadows, a nightly dance that sustains both bat and ecosystem. Gap 2s. These migrations are more than instinct. They are the lifeblood of wild America, the invisible threads that bind ecosystems together. Weaving together distant habitats, linking forests, grasslands, rivers and oceans in a web of life that stretches across the continent. Each migration is a testament to adaptation, resilience, and the enduring power of nature's cycles. Gap 2s. In the heart of America, migration is the pulse that keeps the wild alive, a force that shapes the land and the creatures that call it home. At sunrise, the land awakens with movement. Herds, flocks and swarms, all driven by the timeless rhythm of migration. The choreography of life unfolds in perfect synchrony, each species playing its part in the grand design. From the smallest butterfly to the mightiest whale, each traveller is a thread in the tapestry of renewal and resilience. Their journeys ensure the flow of genes, the dispersal of seeds, and the survival of entire ecosystems. Their journeys echo the eternal rhythm of the land, carrying the promise of survival, adaptation, and the enduring beauty of America's wild heart. Gap 2s. As the first rays of sunlight stretch across frostbitten grasslands, a silent shadow glides over the prairie. The world is still, every blade of grass edged with ice, the air thick with tension as the wild awakens. A lone coyote, amber eyes sharp and focused, stalks the edge of a mule-deer herd. Its movements are calculated, each pawfall silent, body pressed low against the muted earth. The coyote's fur bristles with anticipation, blending perfectly into the subdued palette of dawn. Beneath its coat, muscles flex and coil, every fibre tuned for the hunt. The coyote halts, nostrils wide, reading the shifting wind for the faintest warning. The mule deer graze, heads down, but their ears pivot at the slightest disturbance, nerves taut, always sensing the invisible threat. In this open expanse, predator and prey are bound by instinct and necessity. The coyote's patience is met by the deer's vigilance. Each encounter is a silent contest. Strategy, speed, and awareness determining survival. Gap 2s. The scene transitions to the dense, shadowed forests of the Appalachians. Sunbeams pierce the canopy, painting the undergrowth in shifting mosaics of light and shadow. A bobcat, nearly invisible against the dappled forest floor, crouches low, tufted ears swivelling to catch the faintest sound. Nearby, a wild rabbit nibbles on tender shoots, oblivious to the predator's gaze from the shadows. The rabbit's nose twitches, detecting a subtle shift in the air. In a heartbeat, the forest explodes into motion, a blur of fur and leaves as the bobcat lunges. The chase is silent and swift, a desperate dash where only the most alert survive. The outcome is uncertain, but this relentless pursuit is essential for the woodland's health. Each predator's success, each prey's escape, maintains the intricate balance of the ecosystem. Gap 2s. Farther west, the camera glides above Yellowstone's vast valleys, golden grasslands stretching beneath an endless sky. Below, a wolf pack moves in perfect coordination, bodies weaving through tall grass. Their eyes are locked on a wary elk, every movement deliberate, every sense heightened for the hunt. The elk herd tightens, hooves drumming the earth in a thunderous rhythm. Wolves fan out, circling, probing for weakness, their tactics refined by generations of survival in this harsh landscape. The tension is electric, a standoff where every decision is critical. Wolves test the herd's defences, while elk remain poised, ready to flee at the slightest provocation. This is a contest of endurance, intelligence, and raw strength. Through these encounters, only the most resilient endure. Wolves hone their hunting skills, elk sharpen their instincts. This ongoing challenge shapes the vitality of both species, forging the future of the wild. Gap 2s. Beneath the surface of a mountain stream, a brook trout hovers in a sunlit pool, its scales flickering with iridescent hues. Suddenly, a flash of blue and orange darts from above. A kingfisher plunges into the water, sending ripples across the glassy surface. The trout bolts for shelter, the water alive with the urgency of pursuit. Beneath the current, the contest is swift and unforgiving. The kingfisher's accuracy is rivaled by the trout's agility, each encounter a testament to the relentless drive for survival in even the most secluded corners of the wild. Gap 2s. In the rugged canyons of the southwest, a golden eagle rides the thermals, wings cast in fleeting shadows over sun-baked stone. Far below, a ground squirrel freezes, every muscle tensed. The eagle's gaze sweeps the landscape, searching for the slightest movement. With explosive speed, the eagle stoops, talons outstretched, slicing through the air. The squirrel darts for a crevice, the outcome uncertain until the final instant. In this fleeting moment, the ancient balance of predator and prey is tested and renewed, a cycle that has shaped these wild lands for millennia. Gap 2s. Across America's diverse landscapes, these encounters unfold in endless variety. From open plains to tangled forests, from rushing streams to arid canyons, the drama of survival is ever present. Each pursuit and every escape weaves a new thread into the fabric of life, reinforcing the connections that sustain these wild places. The diversity of habitats and species ensures that this dance is always evolving, always vital. Predator and prey are not simply adversaries, they are essential partners in nature's design. Each encounter, each struggle maintains the delicate equilibrium that keeps America's wild untamed and thriving. Gap 2s. As the last remnants of night dissolve, a profound stillness settles over the American wilderness, a fleeting interval where the world holds its breath, suspended between darkness and the first blush of dawn. In the high-altitude meadows of the Rockies, dew forms intricate patterns on wildflower petals, each droplet refracting the nascent sunlight into a spectrum of colour. The air is crisp, carrying the faint scent of pine and earth as the landscape stirs to life. A gentle breeze sweeps across the tall grasses, setting off a synchronized ripple that travels the length of the meadow. Beneath this living carpet, insects begin their daily routines, and small mammals emerge from burrows, drawn by the promise of warmth and sustenance. Gap 2s. The camera glides low over a tranquil lake, its surface a flawless mirror reflecting the awakening sky. Wisps of mist rise in delicate spirals, swirling above the water as the sun crests the distant peaks, painting the landscape in hues of gold and lavender. From the shelter of a reed bed, a family of river otters emerges, their sleek coats shimmering with droplets. They pause, alert, before slipping into the water, their movements fluid and purposeful. The otters weave through the mist, their playful dives sending ripples across the glassy surface. Each leap and twist is a testament to their adaptability and the delicate balance of this ecosystem. Reflections shimmer and distort as a great blue heron, poised with ancient patience, unfolds its wings. With deliberate grace it ascends, casting a long shadow over the wetlands below, its flight a silent proclamation of the day's arrival. Gap 2s. Deep within the ancient forests of the Pacific Northwest, morning light filters through the towering redwoods, illuminating the moss-laden ground in shifting mosaics of gold and emerald. Along a fern-lined trail, a black bear moves with measured steps, its nose twitching as it searches for ripe berries hidden beneath the dense undergrowth. Every movement is deliberate, a product of instinct honed by generations. Overhead, marbled murrelets exchange haunting calls, their voices echoing through the cathedral-like silence of the forest canopy, a reminder of the interconnectedness of all life here. In this ancient woodland, every creature, from the elusive shrew darting through the leaf litter to the silent owl perched high above, plays a vital role in the intricate web of renewal that unfolds each morning. Gap 2s. Across the sunlit prairies, prairie dogs stand sentinel at the entrances to their labyrinthine burrows, their sharp eyes scanning for movement in the tall grass. In the distance, a low rumble signals the approach of a bison herd. Their massive silhouettes are etched against the horizon, moving with a slow, deliberate power that has shaped these plains for millennia. Calves, still unsteady on their legs, frolic close to their mothers, while birds dart between the bison, seizing insects stirred by the thunder of hooves. The prairie vibrates with the energy of countless lives, each one contributing to the pulse of the land. The earth itself seems to breathe, exhaling a living mist that rises from the soil, alive with the heartbeat of interconnected species, each dependent on the rhythms of dawn. Gap 2s. As the sun's rays sweep from the Atlantic to the Pacific, they ignite a cascade of awakenings, each ecosystem responding in its own unique way to the promise of a new day. In the shadowed glades, a newborn fawn takes its first tentative steps, while overhead an owl glides silently back to its roost, its wings barely disturbing the cool morning air. The wilds of America awaken in a symphony of colour, sound and movement, each note perfectly timed. Every sunrise is a living tapestry, woven from the calls of birds, the rustle of leaves, and the golden light that spills across untamed landscapes. Here, beauty is not merely observed, it is experienced, resonating through every living thing. In these wild places, renewal is constant, resilience is inherent, and the breathtaking spectacle of dawn is a daily affirmation of nature's enduring spirit. Gap 2s. As the sun slips beneath the horizon, the American wilderness is gently transformed. The last rays of sunlight paint the land in a fleeting blush, and for a moment every leaf and stone seems suspended in a tranquil pause. In the Appalachian hills, shadows stretch long and deep, draping the slopes in a tapestry of indigo and gold. Ancient oaks stand silent, their gnarled limbs etched against the fading sky, while mossy hollows gather the last warmth of the day. As dusk settles, fireflies emerge, their tiny lanterns flickering in the humid air. They drift between ferns and fallen logs, tracing invisible paths that shimmer like living constellations in the deepening gloom. Gap 2s. Far to the southwest, the sky above desert canyons deepens to a rich indigo. The last sunlight lingers on red stone, casting long shadows that slip silently into the cool embrace of night. A solitary mountain lion glides across a rocky ledge, its movements fluid and deliberate. The tawny fur melds with the golden rocks, vanishing into the growing darkness as if it were a spirit of the land itself. Below, canyon wrens perch on sun-warmed stones, their clear, cascading songs echoing through the cool air. As their voices fade, the first stars blink awake above the silent cliffs. Gap twos. In the northern forests, twilight brings a gentle hush. Aspen leaves tremble in the faintest breeze, their silver undersides catching the last light, while the forest floor grows soft and shadowed. Beavers slip silently through mirror-still ponds, their wakes sending ripples across the perfect reflection of a crescent moon. The only sound is the quiet dip of a tail or the soft rustle of reeds. On the far shore, a bull moose stands at the water's edge. Velvet-crowned antlers catch the last blue light as he lowers his head to drink, then melts into the shadows beneath the trees. Gap twos. Along the Atlantic coast, the tide slips away, leaving behind glistening sand and tidal pools that mirror a sky brushed with lavender and rose. Shorebirds gather at the water's edge, their slender legs reflected in the wet sand. They move in perfect synchrony, casting elongated shadows as they search for hidden morsels in the twilight. Offshore, dolphins arc through the calm sea, their sleek forms outlined against the glowing horizon. For a heartbeat, they hang in the air, then vanish beneath the gentle waves. Gap twos. Night unfurls across the land, drawing a velvet curtain over forests, mountains and plains. The world softens, colours fading into a tapestry of shadow and moonlight. Bats dart and swoop above moonlit meadows, their wings slicing the cool air as they hunt for insects. Below, crickets begin their nightly chorus, a gentle symphony that fills the darkness. From the rugged Rockies to the shadowed wetlands of the Everglades, the land yields to the quiet enchantment of night. Each region, unique and wild, is woven together by the silent rhythm of darkness. Gap twos. In these tranquil hours, the wilderness reveals its most secret face, a world softened by mist and blue dusk, where every sound is hushed and every movement is measured. Beneath a sky ablaze with stars, the wild endures, mysterious, untouched, and infinite. Night's quiet return is not an ending, but a promise, that the wilderness, in all its beauty, will greet the dawn once more. Gap twos. Beneath the velvet cloak of midnight, the American wilderness transforms into a realm of hidden activity, where every shadow conceals a story and every breath of wind carries the secrets of the night. In the Pacific Northwest, moonbeams slip between ancient redwoods, illuminating the silent passage of a spotted owl. Its wings, broad and soft-edged, slice through the cool air without a whisper, each feather engineered for stealth. Below, a mouse scurries through the undergrowth, unaware of the predator above. The owl's talons extend, precise and deadly, as it descends in a calculated arc. Nature's silent choreography of survival. Gap twos. In the heart of the Everglades, the water's surface is glassy and still, disturbed only by the subtle ripple of an alligator's snout breaking through. The air is thick with humidity, carrying the scent of wet earth and decaying leaves. Cypress knees rise like ancient sentinels, casting long distorted shadows across the flooded forest. From the darkness, pairs of luminous eyes blink, frogs perched on floating logs, snakes coiled in the shallows, and the rare elusive panther slipping between the trees. The chorus of frogs swells and recedes, a living pulse that reverberates through the humid air, masking the subtle movements of other nocturnal hunters. Gap twos. On the high plains, prairie grasses sway gently, their silvered blades reflecting the starlight. The sky above is a tapestry of constellations, undimmed by city lights. At the mouth of its den, a burrowing owl stands alert, its keen eyes scanning for the faintest sign of movement. Every sense is attuned to the vibrations of the earth and the rustle of grass. Nearby, a family of swift foxes emerges, their coats shimmering in the faint glow. They move with purpose, weaving through sage and blue stem, ears twitching at the sound of insects and the distant call of a nightjar. Gap-toos. In the labyrinthine canyons of the southwest, ringtails slip from their rocky dens. Their banded tails flick with agility as they navigate narrow ledges and shadowed crevices, searching for insects and small prey. Above, a great horned owl perches motionless, its amber eyes reflecting the moonlight. It surveys the canyon floor, attuned to the faintest rustle or movement below. Across the desert, the air is cool and still. Lizards slip between rocks, their scales catching the moon's glow, while a distant coyote's call echoes across the open expanse, a solitary note in the vast silence. Gap-toos. Along the Pacific shoreline, bioluminescent waves roll onto the sand, casting an ethereal blue glow that mirrors the constellations above. The air is tinged with salt and the rhythmic sound of surf. In tide pools, anemones unfurl their delicate tentacles, swaying with the current. Tiny crabs scuttle between rocks, their movements quick and purposeful, illuminated by the faint shimmer of plankton. Offshore, a pod of orcas glides through the ink-black water, their dorsal fins slicing the surface in perfect silence. Beneath, they communicate with clicks and whistles, orchestrating a hunt invisible to the world above. Gap-toos. Across the continent, from alpine meadows to subtropical marshes, the American wild is alive with invisible dramas, predators and prey, foragers and wanderers, each playing their part in the intricate web of nocturnal life. Every shadow harbours a secret, every breeze carries a message, pheromones, warning calls, the subtle scent trails that guide the night's hunters and the wary alike. This is the silent pulse of the wilderness, a world thriving in darkness, where beauty is measured not in colour or sound, but in the quiet persistence of life itself. Each moment is a testament to adaptation, resilience, and the relentless drive to survive. Gap-toos. As the night deepens, the land breathes in unison, unseen, unbroken, and eternal. The cycle continues, uninterrupted, as it has for millennia. Here, in the heart of darkness, America's wild beauty endures, patient, persistent, and waiting for the first light of dawn to reveal only a fraction of its mysteries. Gap-toos. As the first light stretches across the wild American horizon, the land stirs in quiet anticipation. Wisps of mist drift through the ancient Appalachian forests, weaving between moss-draped trunks and tangled roots, dissolving the last remnants of night. Dewdrops gather on delicate spiderwebs, refracting the pale gold of morning into tiny rainbows. Warblers dart through the understory, their feathers catching the first rays as they search for insects among the leaves. Songbirds test the air with tentative melodies, their calls echoing softly through the awakening woods. Gap-toos. Across the prairies, tall grasses glisten with beads of dew, each blade bending under the gentle weight of moisture. Pronghorn antelope step quietly into the open, their silhouettes outlined by the low sun. A cottontail rabbit pauses, nose twitching, before disappearing into a mosaic of wildflowers. Coreopsis, purple coneflower and sunflowers unfurl their petals, turning toward the warmth, their colours vivid against the soft light. Gap-toos. Along the Snake River, beavers emerge from their lodges, their fur slick with dew. They set to work reinforcing dams and clearing channels, while the river's surface mirrors the awakening sky. Otters tumble through the water, sending ripples across the glassy calm. Overhead, a bald eagle glides effortlessly, wings outstretched, scanning the water for the faintest shimmer of movement below. Gap twos. In the Sonoran desert, saguaros stand tall and silent as the first light creeps over the horizon. Shadows stretch long across the ochre and rose landscape. Desert cottontails and Gambel's quail emerge from their cool burrows, moving cautiously through the sparse undergrowth. The air is crisp, and every movement is measured as the desert world adjusts to the gentle touch of morning. A Gila woodpecker drums a rhythmic greeting, its call echoing across the stony ground. Gap twos. Far north, the Alaskan tundra stirs beneath a pastel sky. Caribou herds move with deliberate grace, their breath visible in the cold air. Arctic foxes, coats thick and white, emerge from their dens, noses pressed to the ground as they search for signs of thaw. The tundra's silence is broken only by the soft crunch of snow and the distant calls of migrating birds. Above, the sky glows with lavender, peach and blue, signalling the arrival of a new day. Gap twos. Minute by minute, the wild world brightens. The hush of night recedes, replaced by the subtle chorus of wings, paws and flowing water. Wings beat softly, paws brush through dew-laden grass, and water trickles over ancient stones, each sound a note in nature's gentle symphony. The landscape is painted in vibrant hues, every sunrise a quiet promise of renewal. In this moment, every creature and every corner of wilderness is touched by the gentle reawakening of nature, a testament to resilience and hope. Gap twos. As dawn matures, the wildlands of America awaken as a living canvas, each brushstroke of sunlight unveiling nature's most intricate masterpieces, crafted not by human hands, but by the patient artistry of time, weather, and life itself. In the Pacific Northwest, ancient rainforests shimmer beneath a lattice of golden beams. Mosses and lichens cloak every surface, their textures forming a tapestry of green that absorbs the morning's hush. Sunlight filters through towering Douglas firs and western red cedars, illuminating the forest floor in shifting patterns of light and shadow. Ferns unfurl with mathematical precision, each frond spiralling outward, dew-laden tips refracting the light into a spectrum of emerald and silver. The air is thick with the scent of earth and rain, a reminder of the cycles that sustain this ancient ecosystem. Banana slugs, their bodies glistening, etch silvery trails across moss-laden logs, while the elusive marbled murrelet glides in near silence between the cathedral-like trunks of Sitka spruces. Fallen giants, now blanketed in moss, become nurseries for new life, each decaying log a microcosm of renewal. Gap twos. Along the Atlantic coast, salt marshes breathe with the rhythm of the tides, their surface a shifting mosaic of mud, water and grass. Fiddler crabs emerge in synchronized waves, their movements orchestrated by the pull of the moon. Their raised claws flash in the sunlight, signaling and defending, while snowy egrets stalk the shallows with surgical precision, each step a calculated move in the eternal dance of predator and prey. On a sun-warmed bank, a diamond-backed terrapin basks, its shell a living mosaic of whorls and lines, each marking a record of seasons survived and waters navigated. Gap twos. In the high meadows of the Rocky Mountains, the landscape erupts in a riot of colour as wildflowers awaken to the touch of the sun. Lupines and paintbrushes ignite the slopes, their vivid hues attracting hummingbirds whose wings beat so rapidly they blur into invisible brushstrokes. Each blossom is a masterpiece of adaptation, shaped by wind, pollinators, and the relentless march of seasons. Elk graze in the shadow of granite peaks, their coats aglow in the golden light. Nearby, a marmot perches atop a rocky outcrop, its shrill whistle echoing across the valley, a sentinel's call woven into the morning's tapestry. Gap twos. Deep in the Louisiana bayous, cypress knees rise from still waters, sculpted by centuries of slow growth and shifting currents. Spanish moss drapes from gnarled limbs, its silvery strands swaying gently in the humid breeze. The air is thick with the scent of water and decay, a fertile ground for life's endless improvisation. Alligators glide beneath lily pads, their armoured forms barely disturbing the surface. Above, a chorus of frogs and cicadas weaves a complex soundscape, each note a thread in the fabric of dawn. Gap twos. Over the Great Lakes, clouds drift in mirrored procession, their reflections painting ephemeral masterpieces on the glassy expanse. Common loons glide with effortless grace, their haunting calls echoing across the water, a sound as ancient as the lakes themselves. In hidden coves, lake sturgeon stir the pebbled bottom, their armoured bodies moving with deliberate grace, living relics of a primordial world, unchanged for millennia. Gap twos. Across these diverse realms, the morning unveils nature's masterpieces, each scene a singular expression of life's resilience and creativity, every detail a testament to the wild's enduring artistry. Here, life is rendered in infinite variety, a mosaic shaped by the interplay of sunlight, water, and the relentless passage of time. Every moment is a fleeting work of art, never to be repeated. As the sun ascends, the living canvas expands, inviting all who bear witness to marvel in silent awe at the unfolding beauty. Each new day a gallery of wonders, painted by the hand of nature alone. Gap twos. Beneath the grandeur of towering forests and the sweep of open plains, a quieter drama unfolds. A world shaped by the tireless labour of nature's hidden architects. As sunlight deepens, the wilds of America reveal a network of unseen engineers, each species carving, weaving and sculpting the land for generations yet to come. In a shaded Appalachian hollow, a colony of beavers transforms a trickling stream into a labyrinth of ponds and channels. With unwavering determination, these aquatic builders gnaw through saplings, their teeth etching the signature of renewal into each trunk. Branches and mud are woven into intricate dams, slowing the water's rush and birthing new wetlands. Dragonflies hover above the mirrored surface, their wings catching the light as frogs chorus from the reed-fringed banks. The beaver's creation is both home and haven, an ecosystem blossoming from the ingenuity of a single family. Gap twos. Deep underground, in the arid heart of the Sonoran Desert, pocket gophers tunnel tirelessly through sun-baked earth. Their excavations aerate the soil, bringing life-giving oxygen to fragile roots and stirring dormant seeds to sprout. Each mound of freshly turned dirt is a testament to their ceaseless work, shaping the desert's future beneath a mosaic of wildflowers and cacti. Gap twos. In the swaying grasslands of the Midwest, prairie dogs raise bustling towns above the horizon. Sentinels perch upright, scanning for shadows, while below an intricate warren of burrows forms a living fortress. These subterranean architects turn the soil, fostering a rich tapestry of grasses and forbs that feed herds of bison and antelope. Burrowing owls glide low, vanishing into abandoned tunnels, their silent flight a fleeting note in the underground symphony. Gap-toos. High in the Pacific canopies, leafcutter ants march in tireless procession. Each ant bears a fragment of green, carving intricate paths along mossy bark. Far from mere scavengers, these tiny labourers cultivate subterranean gardens of fungus, feeding entire colonies and nourishing the forest floor with the remnants of their harvest. Gap-toos. Across every landscape, these unsung builders shape the wild in ways both subtle and profound. Their artistry is measured not in brushstrokes, but in the architecture of earth and water, the choreography of roots and tunnels. With every dam, mound and burrow, they sculpt the stage upon which the drama of life unfolds. As the day advances, the legacy of these hidden architects endures, woven into the very fabric of the land, an enduring testament to the quiet ingenuity that underpins America's wild beauty. Gap-toos. As dusk deepens and the land quiets, another force awakens, one without form or face, yet vital to every heartbeat in the wild. This is the invisible web, a network of connections binding every creature and every corner of America's untamed beauty. In an ancient redwood grove, mycorrhizal fungi thread the soil, weaving delicate filaments between towering trees. Beneath the forest floor, nutrients and whispers of warning flow from root to root, linking old giants with saplings born in shadow. When a tree falls, the fungi redirect life's energy, ensuring the forest's resilience endures. Gap-toos. On the Gulf Coast, a horseshoe crab drifts ashore beneath a moonlit tide. Its eggs, nestled in wet sand, become a feast for migratory shorebirds, red knots whose 1,000-mile journey depends on this annual bounty. As the tide recedes, ghost crabs skitter forth, scavenging remnants and aerating the shore, their tiny footprints part of a cycle as old as the waves. Gap-toos. In the heart of a Montana meadow, a wolf's howl ripples through the dusk. Elk shift nervously, altering their grazing paths. With each movement, grasses regrow, wildflowers bloom, and songbirds return. The predator's presence echoes through the land, shaping the balance of life far beyond the hunt. Gap-toos. High above the Sonoran Desert, a saguaro cactus unfurls creamy white blooms. As night falls, a lesser long-nosed bat hovers, sipping nectar and dusting its fur with pollen. With every visit, the bat bridges distant cacti, ensuring the desert's giants will stand for centuries more. Gap-toos. Across every biome, silent currents of influence ripple outward. Seeds hitchhiking in a fox's fur, salmon nourishing ancient forests with their final gift, fireflies signalling mates in a code only the wild can decipher. Each thread is fragile, yet together they form a tapestry stronger than stone. Gap-toos. In America's wild, nothing stands alone. Every life, from the smallest ant to the tallest tree, is bound inextricably to another. The invisible web endures, unseen, unbroken, and essential to the land's eternal song. Beneath the tapestry of forests, plains, and deserts, a hidden world pulses with life, a realm shaped by darkness, silence, and secrets. This is America's underworld, a vast network of caves, aquifers, and underground rivers where survival means adaptation beyond imagination. In the limestone labyrinths of Kentucky's Mammoth Cave, blind cavefish glide through inky black waters. Deprived of sight, their bodies have traded eyes for heightened senses, detecting the faintest vibrations and chemical trails. Here, food is scarce, and every morsel counts. Tiny shrimp and bacteria thrive on mineral-rich drips, creating a food chain fueled by the slow, steady breath of the earth. Deeper still, in the silent chambers of New Mexico's Carlsbad caverns, colonies of bats cling to the ceiling in swirling masses. At dusk they spiral outward in a living cloud, their nightly exodus the only sign of the teeming life below. Their guano sustains entire ecosystems, beetles, fungi, and mysterious troglobites, creatures found nowhere else on the surface. In the Pacific Northwest, ancient lava tubes snake beneath volcanic soil. Here, salamanders and spiders dwell in perpetual twilight, their lives unfolding far from the sun's reach. Droplets condense on cool stone, nourishing mosses and ferns that cling to the cave mouths, a delicate link between the underworld and the vibrant world above. Across the continent, aquifers flow unseen, cradling rare translucent crustaceans and filtering water that will one day surge forth as springs, sustaining forests, prairies and rivers. In these shadowed realms, time slows, evolution takes strange turns, and resilience is written into every life form. The pulse of the underworld beats quietly beneath America's wild surface, a testament to the tenacity of life, thriving in darkness, shaping the land from below, and reminding us that nature's wonders often lie where eyes cannot see. High above the forest floor, where sunlight weaves a golden tapestry across emerald leaves, lies another hidden dimension of America's wild, a realm not beneath our feet, but far above our heads. This is the canopy, a suspended world where life flourishes in layers, each more vibrant than the last. In the towering redwoods of California, ancient giants stretch skyward, their crowns forming a living city in the clouds. Here, mosses drape over branches like emerald carpets, and ferns unfurl in the filtered light, creating lush gardens suspended hundreds of feet above the earth. Epiphytic orchids cling to bark, blooming in bursts of colour unseen from below, while lichens paint the trunks with intricate patterns, silent chronicles of centuries gone by. Tiny tree frogs, no larger than a thumbprint, cling to leaves slick with morning dew. They share their aerial domain with darting hummingbirds whose wings blur to invisibility as they sip nectar from flowers that never touch the soil. In the eastern deciduous forests, flying squirrels glide from branch to branch, tracing graceful arcs through moonlit air, while cicadas and katydids fill the night with a chorus that echoes through the leafy vaults. Predators, too, claim their place in this kingdom above. Hawks and owls perch in silence, eyes keen for the slightest movement, while agile martens and raccoons navigate the tangled pathways with practiced ease. Even the trees themselves tell a story. Their roots anchor deep in the earth, but their highest leaves drink in the sky, bridging two worlds in a delicate balance. From the misty canopies of Olympic National Park to the sun-dappled crowns of the Smokies, these treetop realms harbour secrets and symphonies of life. The canopy is a sanctuary, a crossroads and a frontier, an untamed world that whispers of nature's ingenuity, resilience, and unending wonder, waiting patiently above, just out of reach. High above the land, invisible to the naked eye, colossal rivers of moisture wind their way across the atmosphere, shaping the fate of America's wild below. These are atmospheric rivers, narrow bands of water vapour that stream thousands of miles from ocean to continent, carrying more water than the mighty Mississippi at flood stage. Their paths are ephemeral, sculpted by shifting winds and oceanic currents, but their impact is profound, fueling the cycles of drought and deluge that define the wild heart of a continent. From the Pacific's restless edge, these vapour highways sweep inland, their arrival heralded by the slow gathering of clouds over the Sierras, the Cascades, and the coastal redwoods. When they meet the cold embrace of mountain air, the water they bear is released as rain and snow, feeding rivers, nourishing ancient forests, and awakening dormant seeds in the parched soil. In the Pacific Northwest, mosses and ferns drink deeply, emerald green unfurling in response to the sky-born gift. Along the Central Valley, orchards bloom and wetlands swell, their lifeblood replenished by these floating conduits. But the rivers of sky are double-edged. When their course grows wild, storms can rage with unyielding force, overflowing creeks, flooding plains, and reshaping landscapes in a matter of hours. Yet even in their fury, they are architects of renewal, sculpting new habitats for salmon, frogs and herons in the ever-changing mosaic of America's wild. From the snowpack that feeds the Colorado to the hidden springs of the Appalachians, the legacy of these atmospheric rivers endures, carving unseen connections between ocean, sky and land. They remind us that nature's most powerful forces are often those we cannot see, weaving the elements together in a dance both ancient and ever-renewing. In the silent passage of vapour above, the future of America's untamed places is written in rivers of sky. Beneath the hush of night, when darkness settles over America's wild places, an ancient light stirs, soft, silent, and rarely seen. This is the hidden glow of bioluminescence, nature's secret artistry, illuminating the unseen corners of forests, caves, and coastal waters. In the depths of Appalachian woodlands, tiny firefly larvae burrow beneath leaf litter. Here, away from prying eyes, they ignite emerald lanterns in the soil, each flicker a silent conversation, a coded call in the quiet night. Their glow is a promise, a signal of safety, a lure for prey, or a warning to would-be predators. Above, adult fireflies orchestrate a silent ballet, synchronizing their flashes in waves that ripple through the humid air, turning riverbanks into living constellations. Farther south, along the Gulf Coast, the brackish waters of hidden bays and tidal inlets conceal another marvel. When the moon is new and the water calm, billions of microscopic plankton, dinoflagellates, ignite with every ripple. Fish darting through the shallows leave glowing trails like comets streaking beneath the surface. Each disturbance, a leaping mullet, the brush of a manatee's tail, sparks a burst of blue-green light, revealing the unseen choreography of the nocturnal world. In the limestone caves of the Ozarks, a different kind of luminescence weaves through the darkness. Fungus gnats cling to cavern ceilings, spinning silken threads that drip with tiny beads of living light. In this perpetual twilight, the glow lures unsuspecting insects, drawn in by the promise of false stars. Here, the line between predator and prey is drawn in radiant blue, a testament to the ingenuity of life in the absence of sunlight. These hidden beacons remind us that America's wild is not only a tapestry of sound and colour, but also of light, subtle, elusive, and profoundly alive. Bioluminescence is more than spectacle. It is survival written in photons, a language spoken in flashes and glimmers where darkness reigns. In these fleeting illuminations, the wild reveals its mysteries, inviting us to look closer and see the world anew, aglow with nature's whispers in the night.